heroes in English literature, with Simon Russell Beale as its author, Henry Fielding.
Tom Jones by Henry Fielding, dramatised by Stephen Wyatt. Part 1.
This is the history of Tom Jones, a foundling, so it seems only right and proper to start by describing how he was found. In that part of the western division of this kingdom, which is commonly called Somersetshire, lived a gentleman and widower called Allworthy. But he'd been absent a full quarter of a year in London on some very particular business, although sadly I can't tell you what it was.
Bridget!
He was greeted by his sister, Bridget, who, for all her admirable qualities, remained unmarried. They had a brief supper, and then Squire Allworthy retired much fatigued to his bedroom. As always, he first of all knelt in prayer.
Which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom
But
come.
as he did so, he became aware of a strange noise.
Oh, no, it cannot be. It cannot be.
But it was. There, lying in his bed, was an infant wrapped up in some coarse linen. He rang for help. An elderly servant woman came running, but the sight of Squire Allworthy wearing nothing but his nightshirt was too much for her. In the end, his sister Bridget came to see what the matter was.
What are you going to do, brother? If the story comes out, there'll be a great deal of tittle-tattle. They'll gossip behind your back and say you are the father. Best to put the baby on the parish.
Look, he's gripping my finger in his tiny hand. He's imploring my assistance.
Is he?
Oh, yes.
Well, at least try and find out who the mother is.
So, you do not deny you are the mother of this child?
No, sir.
Oh, Jenny Jones, you are an intelligent girl. You know that it is in my power to punish you very rigorously for what you've done.
Yes, sir.
Now, as for the child, let no thoughts concerning it molest you. I will provide for it in a better manner than you can ever hope. I intend to adopt him.
Oh, thank you.
So, all that remains is for you to tell me who the father is.
Please don't ask. I give my word. But thank you for the care you offer to my son. With your permission, I'll be gone from here soon. The village bitches are not going to gnaw at my flesh.
The next that was heard of Jenny was that she'd gone off with a recruiting officer. Still, the village found out the father anyway. It was, they believed, one Partridge, an inoffensive married man who worked as both schoolmaster and barber. He'd been giving Jenny Jones private coaching, and everyone knew what that meant. Or thought they did.
So, are you the father of this child?
No, your worship. I swear before God.
This denial will look ill for you, Partridge, in the face of the testimony against you. Oh, you realise I cannot continue to pay for you to teach the village children.
That's as good as asking me to leave.
Well, I'm sorry. For both you and your wife.
Oh. She won't come with me. Praise the Lord.
So the putative parents of the foundling left the village, and Squire Allworthy made the boy his own. He christened him Tom Jones. Well, his mother was a Jones, and the name had a fine, manly English ring. Then suddenly, Miss Bridget Allworthy found herself a husband, one Captain Blifil. Cynics may suggest that Miss Bridget's fortune was an inducement to the handsome captain to propose to a woman of inestimable virtue, but modest looks and years beyond his own. But if the captain looked to a wealthy future, he had an unpleasant surprise. Because he died first. He was not much lamented by his long-suffering wife, who consoled herself with frequent trips to town, but at least she gave him a very handsome tombstone. Maybe because he had given her a son. So Squire Allworthy acquired a nephew not much younger than his adopted son. And here ends the prologue. Now, in this narrative, we do not sit around. If nothing important happens, then we swiftly move on, and so a period of some 18 years has elapsed, and the story of Tom Jones begins.
There they are, the whole covey of them. Time to spring them, Master Tom.
Now, be warned, for want of a better, Tom Jones is our hero, but don't expect him to be a model of virtue. He has his faults, and one of his delights is to sneak off secretly and go shooting with Black George, Squire Allworthy's gamekeeper. A poacher turned gamekeeper, who on occasion could always be persuaded to turn poacher again.
There! One down. Yes, but look. What of it? The Squire Weston's land has fallen on.
It's only a few yards.
You know the master says never to trespass there.
It's but a few yards. What's the harm?
I could lose my job.
Nobody'll see us.
And look.
There's another. Come on. What is there to fear?
Damn me, it's too good to waste. Let's go.
That's Squire Weston. He must have heard the shots. George. George?
But when Tom looks round, the more experienced George has disappeared into the thickest part of the furze brake.
Damn you, you thieving, poaching rogues! I'll have your giblets for garters! Well, well, Master Jones. Did you hear those shots just now?
I may have done.
Pox on it! What's that you've got there?
Why, sir?
Don't take me for a half-wit. That's a dead partridge, 2 dead partridges, in fact, on my land. Damn me, boy, Mr. Allworthy shall hear of this.
Come, Tom, the truth.
The birds originally broke cover on your manor,
That's
sir.
no excuse for your trespass. And who was with you at the time?
Nobody, sir.
Squire Weston heard 2 guns. And I know you sometimes hunt with Black George. He denies it all, of course.
I was alone, sir. I truly was.
Tom, I detest falsehood. Maybe the Reverend Mr. Thwackum will change your mind.
Sir, Mr. Thwackum won't change anything. He still yearns for the times when he could beat me within an inch of my life.
Oh, Tom. Still the same wild boy.
I don't mean to upset you.
I know. But you do.
Jones has persisted in an untruth, Mr. Allworthy. He is clearly guilty as charged and should be punished for his sins, preferably corporally.
Or maybe he has lied, but he only did it from a mistaken point of honour, Mr. Thwackum.
Honour? Mere stubbornness and obstinacy. If only you'd let me beat the truth out of him.
Mr. Thwackum, your meditations are always full of birch, because you believe mankind is irretrievably evil.
Without redemption, by God's grace.
What a pity that you have never properly listened to what I have to say.
I have heard more of your ideas than human blood can stand, Mr. Squire.
You always drag religion into it, whereas I believe that human nature is the perfection of all virtue, and that vice is a deviation from our nature in the same manner as deformity of body is.
Mankind is naturally evil.
Mankind is naturally good.
Although this argument rages over profound issues about the very nature of human existence, you would probably prefer to learn that Mr. Allworthy maintains 2 tutors for Tom and young Blifil. Mr. Square is a philosopher who has no time for organised religion. Mr. Thwackum is a divine with no time for innate human virtue. Mr. Allworthy fondly believes the 2 lads will therefore receive a balanced education. But sometimes that belief is sorely tested.
No, let us take honour. If by honour we mean the true natural beauty of virtue, then that exists independently of any religion whatsoever.
Oh, yes, so any heretic or infidel may think what they will.
I am talking, sir.
And so am I.
And I am going to bed.
And there the matter might have rested, were it not for a character you have yet to meet, Master Blifil. His mother is hardly ever around. Maybe that is the explanation for his particular breed of piety and self-interest.
Well, Thomas, you've saved your precious George from the dismissal he well deserved.
I don't want to talk about it.
You have burdened yourself with an unnecessary lie when you know the truth is always to be preferred. But then I suppose you're condemned by your parentage to relish the company of lowlife like George Seagrim.
What do you mean?
There's a natural propensity in you towards the low and dishonest, for which I profoundly pity you, from my heart. It must rankle.
What must? What must?
Why, being a beggarly bastard.
Oh! No! I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. But you shouldn't have said that.
The sensitive should be assured that the sounds you hear do not indicate anything more serious than a bloody nose.
Well, of course I forgive him. He couldn't help it.
Yes, but what was the cause?
No, I'd rather not say, Uncle, but...
But?
Well, I value Tom's moral well-being as you do yourself, and I am concerned that he's being led astray by bad company. I told him that I prayed nightly that he would not fall into untruth.
And?
He said it was no business of mine if he'd lied to you about Black George being with him that day.
He said what?
Oh, dear. Oh, what have I said? I never meant to let his secret slip.
Well, whether you meant it or not, the truth is out now.
But Allworthy decides Tom has been punished enough. He reserves his severity for the gamekeeper.
You let Tom take all the obloquy on your behalf. There is a great difference between telling a falsehood to excuse yourself and telling a falsehood to excuse another.
I'll put my job at risk.
George, this is not the first complaint I've had against you. You take your wages and go.
George, I'm sorry.
Too late for that.
I spoke to Mr. Allworthy. I did my best, but it was no use. Here. Well, I know it's not much.
I've lost my job. Is this all you can offer?
It's all I have. I'll find you more. Somehow. I promise.
You do that, Master Tom, and be quick about it.
Mr. Thwackum?
What is it?
I was perusing my Bible, and there are certain texts concerning charity towards one's neighbours, upon which I would value your learning.
Is that a new Bible you have there?
No, it's... I cannot say.
I thought so. This is Tom Jones's Bible, a gift from Mr. Allworthy. How come it is in your hands?
I had not meant to tell you, but since you ask, I cannot lie. Tom sold this Bible, along with the little horse my uncle gave him, which he claimed he loved so dearly. I was able to redeem them both. Would I could do the same with Tom himself.
I must tell Mr. Allworthy about this.
Must you?
Tom, why do you try my trust in you at every turn?
I didn't want to sell these things, sir. They are gifts from you.
So why did you sell them? If you needed money, why not tell me?
I can't say.
Oh. Mr. Thwackum says...
Beat me?
Yes. And Mr. Square says...
Find my inner goodness?
Yes.
So what will you do?
Hope. What else can I do?
I have now to prepare you for a disturbing revelation. Mr. Jones's interest in Black George and the Seagrim family is not entirely charitable. You may be shocked to hear that a handsome, healthy young man of 18 has certain appetites, and that Black George has a daughter called Molly, who is esteemed one of the handsomest girls in the whole county, and one of the most forward.
Mr. Jones!
Molly!
You're breathless.
I'm bringing some more money for your father.
He'd only waste it. Other members of the family are far more deserving, in my opinion.
You're looking well, Molly.
Am I?
Very well.
So do you really have to hurry on?
Yes. No.
You should be warned that during this narrative scenes of a sexual nature may occur, but please be assured that their precise detail will always be left discreetly to your imagination. Our sounds will never, as it were, thrust these matters in your face. Enough. for this is far from the first encounter between Tom and the luscious Molly, and we are about to introduce our heroine, Miss Sophia Weston. Sophia is lovely and intelligent, her hair luxuriant, her figure perfectly proportioned, her... But perhaps I should leave you to create your own imagined portrait of Miss Weston. She has recently returned home after 3 years away under the care of her aunt, acquiring both breeding and learning. Her father is fonder of her than of any other human being, though it is a close-run thing with his favourite horse.
It's a long time since we've seen each other.
Yes. And you've changed. For the better, I mean.
Do you remember the bird you brought me?
What makes you think of that?
You took it from the nest, nursed it up and taught it to sing. I loved that bird. Little Tommy, I called it. I always kept a string around its leg so it wouldn't fly away.
And then you had to let Blifil hold the string.
And then he let it go, and it flew away. And you chased it all the way down here to the stream. You climbed on that tree where it had perched, but as you reached out, the branch snapped and... splash! You were my hero.
I didn't get your bird back.
Well, Blifil said a hawk got it. But he would, wouldn't he?
He said, I felt the poor creature languished for liberty, and I own I could not forbear giving it what it desired.
But it was you who got the beating for getting your clothes wet. It was so long ago.
Sophia, I've a mighty favour to ask.
Go on.
Well, it's just that George Seagrim, has been sacked by Mr. Allworthy, because your father...
Yes, I heard. You want me to put in a word with my father about giving him a job. Is this the mighty favour?
Thank you, Sophie.
No, I pity the poor fellow. And I've already sent some clothing and money to his family. He has a daughter, doesn't he? Molly, is it?
Yes, but...
Well, I have my own maid, Honor. But maybe I can persuade Father to take her into service. What do you think?
I think... You are wonderful.
He snatches her hand and eagerly kisses it. It's the first time his lips have ever touched her. The effect upon Sophia is startling, but Tom is a little aghast as to where his enthusiasm has taken him. He is, after all, committed elsewhere.
Tom came to see me today.
The lad has his faults and keeps bad company, but I can't help but admire him. There's not a man in the county who can leap over a 5-barred gate like he can, or hunt a pack of hounds if he'd only keep his nose clean. My guns, dogs and horses would be at his command.
Then perhaps, Father, I can ask you...
Play me St. Georgie was for England again, and you can ask me anything. Just spare me your damned modern handle nonsense.
The squire easily grants his daughter's request to offer employ to both George and his daughter, and so everything might have ended here, were it not for one problem. One increasingly evident problem.
Molly, you can't.
Why not?
Not Miss Weston's dress she sent.
What's wrong with the dress?
Well, it's not the dress, it's you. There's no mistaking it now. The bump's plain for all to see.
Well, what if it is? There's no reason why I can't make myself handsome and go to church, is there?
Molly, I'm warning you.
Warn away, Mother.
Molly Seagrim goes off to church, but afterwards in the graveyard, her reception from the other women is hostile.
Slut.
And there's a fight.
What you say?
I said slut.
Luckily, Tom gets wind of what is happening.
Molly! Molly!
And like a true knight-errant rallies to his lady's defence.
Molly! Molly!
Quite enough gratuitous violence for now, I think. Tom rescues the bloody but unbowed Molly at the cost of a number of scratches and bruises to his own person and takes her home. But the truth, nevertheless, is out.
The wench was brought before Squire Allworthy this morning, but she refuses to name the father. Without doubt, he'll have to send her to Bridewell, even though the world knows that Allworthy's as arrant a whore master as any within 5 miles of here. Doth not the whole county know son Thomas? Like father, like son in this case. Eh, Sophie?
Father, if you'll excuse me...
Oh, sit down, girl. You have not the worst opinion of a young fellow for getting a bastard, have you?
Please, I don't want to.
No. The wench is like a man, the better for it.
If you say so, sir.
Not that Molly Seagrim hasn't, well, a reputation, but there's no doubt Tom's the father, eh, Sophia?
I'm sorry, Father, but I do have a headache.
Stop bobbing up and down, girl. What's the matter with you? The parson tells me there was a battle royal between Molly Seagrim and some village women in the churchyard. Zoons. I'd like to have seen that.
Come in.
Sir, I have to see you.
Tom?
I just got back and I find the constable ready to take Molly Seagrim to prison.
Those were my instructions to him, yes.
Isn't that harsh?
The wench is without shame and refuses to reveal the father.
Sir, I am the father.
You are responsible. You have corrupted and ruined the poor girl?
Yes, I confess I have corrupted her, but whether she shall be ruined depends on you. For heaven's sake, sir, revoke your warrant. Let her go home to her parents and not be exposed to a greater degree of shame and scorn than must necessarily fall on her.
Very well.
Oh, thank you, sir.
The fault is yours.
Indeed, sir. But if you have the goodness to forgive me, I hope I shall deserve it.
I hope so, too.
The good squire reads Tom a very severe lecture upon sexual immorality. It is a well-rehearsed lecture, for he has given it over his years as magistrate to many men and women. But in a triumph of faith over experience, he still believes it might have some effect.
Well, Miss Sophia, she seemed to me like a confident slut, and she laid the child to Mr. Jones. To be sure, you can't help pitying the poor young man, and yet he doesn't deserve much pity either for demeaning himself with such kind of trumpery. Still, I dare swear the wench was as willing as he. She was always a forward kind of body. Nobody can deny that Mr. Jones is one of the handsomest men that ever...
Please, Honor, enough. What does it matter to me what Mr. Jones does?
To be sure, Mum, I never thought it was any harm to say a young man was handsome. Still, handsome is as handsome does. And
Stop your torrent of impertinence and see whether my father wants me at breakfast.
Very good, Mum. I'm sorry if I've upset you in some way.
Upset me? Don't be ridiculous.
Very good, Mum.
Squire Weston, of course, thinks none the worse of Master Jones for being a whoremaster. And so at his invitation, Tom continues to hunt whenever the hounds meet.
Miss Weston!
Mr. Jones!
I did not know you had a love of the chase.
I don't, but it pleases my father. I hope also in some measure to restrain his impetuosity. He so frequently exposes his neck to the utmost hazard.
I fear that's part of the pleasure for him. Oh, that's a mettlesome mount you have there.
I'm sure I will manage.
The sensitive among you may be distressed to learn that the principal figures in our tale enjoy the hunt. And sadly, there is no evidence to suggest that any of them ever consider the feelings of the fox. During the chase, Miss Weston's mount begins to suddenly prance and caper in such a manner that she is in the most imminent peril of falling. Tom, who is a little distance behind, sees this and immediately gallops to her assistance.
Miss Weston! Miss Weston!
He leaps from his horse and catches hers by the bridle. The unruly beast rears up on its hind legs and throws its lovely burden from its back. But Jones, for once the perfect hero, catches Sophia in his arms and breaks her fall.
I trust you have received no hurt.
None, thanks to you.
If I have preserved you, then I am sufficiently repaid for the small misfortune I have suffered on this occasion.
Misfortune? What misfortune?
Oh, be not concerned, madam. If I have broke my arm, I consider it but a trifle.
Broke your arm? Heaven forbid!
Don't worry, madam. It's only my left arm. I still have a right hand yet at your service to
Mr. Jones!
Tom is carried back to the squire's house and put to bed till the surgeon is summoned. His guardian is among the first of his visitors.
Well, Tom, I'm sorry for your sufferings and proud of your gallant behaviour. But being confined to bed will, I hope, give you time to reflect. I want you to promise me one thing. On pain of my severe disapproval, you will not have any further contact with Molly Seagrim.
But I...
You promise?
Yes.
Damn me, Tom, that broken bone of judgment upon thee. Pox and parson thwack 'em for saying it. Did you not come by it in defence of a young woman? And if you never do anything worse, you will go to heaven sooner than all the parsons in the country. Isn't that right, Sophie?
Mr. Jones knows how grateful I am to him.
But don't be mean of your praise, Sophie. Damn me, my boy, there's nothing that's in my power that I won't do for you. You shall take thy choice of all the horses in my stable tomorrow morning. Except only the Chevalier. Oh, and Miss Slouch.
No, sir, I couldn't accept...
Then why not have the sorrel mare that Sophie was riding? She cost me 50 guineas. Comes 6 years old, this grass.
If she had cost me 1,000, I would have given her to the dogs.
Pooh! Just because she broke thy arm? You should forget and forgive. I thought you'd be more of a man than to bear malice against a dumb creature. Sophie, why have you stopped playing?
I'm sorry, Father.
Sophia's behaviour gives Tom a restless night. He has never before considered that she might have strong feelings towards him. And yet he knows that Squire Weston, for all his regard for Tom, would never contemplate marriage for Sophia with any but a man of property.
Tom, my handsome Tom.
And then a vision of the lovely Molly intrudes itself. The nature of the ensuing dream is perhaps best left to your imaginations. But despite his promise to Mr. Allworthy, he feels he can't abandon her. So, as dawn breaks...
No. I must abide by Molly and think no more of Sophia.
Why, Mr. Jones?
Is Molly in?
Yes. No. Yes. Molly? Molly! Here's Mr. Jones to see you. Come in.
Where is she?
Oh, she's in her bedchamber. She's not been feeling well.
So, where do I...
Up the ladder. Molly, Mr. Jones is coming up to see you.
Tom!
Molly, my love, how are you?
Well, this is a surprise. I thought now you were living in luxury at Squire Weston's, you'd forgotten all about your poor abandoned Molly.
Oh, I thought about you a lot. But Mr. Allworthy forbade me to come and see you. Please believe I will do everything I can to provide for you. But if you could one day find a man who might marry you and make you happy, then...
So this is your love for me, is it? To forsake me now that you've ruined me? How often, when I told you that men tire of us when they've had their wicked ways with us, did you swear you would never forsake me?
Oh, Molly...
Why mention another man? I can never love any other man as long as I live. All other men are as nothing to me. I would live...
What was that?
What was what?
That?
I don't hear anything.
It's coming from over there.
Where?
Behind that old rug. Let's take a look.
No.
But Tom pulls down the old rug, and there, with nothing covering his nakedness, apart from an old nightcap of Molly's, is...
Mr. Squire! I grant that at first the circumstances look unfavourable. But philosophy allows us to look at them in a different light. I am not Molly's first lover. You are not her first lover. Her impregnation can probably be laid at the door of a lusty yokel called Tom Barnes, so neither of us is at fault. And in any case, what can be more innocent than the indulgence of a natural appetite?
Bastard! Oh! That'll teach you to talk impregnation. What's so funny?
Everything. Thank you, Molly.
Where are you going?
Thank you.
Come back.
Tom suddenly feels he is free. Free to do what he wants. Free to say what he wants. And then, as if in a dream, he sees Sophia come running towards him.
Oh, Tom! There you are.
Sophia, what's the matter?
You must return home at once. Mr. Allworthy is seriously ill. Apparently it started as a cold and turned to a fever, and now there are grounds for thinking him close to death.
Is everyone here?
Yes.
Has Tom returned?
Yes, sir.
Everyone's here except my mother, sir. There's no word from her.
Alas, I cannot wait.
Oh, Uncle, how we shall miss you.
Oh, please do not sorrow, my dear nephew. Death is unavoidable, and if my time has come, then I have no cause for complaint, as mine has been a fortunate life. But I wish to speak concerning my will.
Oh, pray, Uncle, do not speak of such matters.
No, nephew Blifil, I want you to know that I leave you the heir to my whole estate.
I am not worthy.
Excepting only £500 a year.
But, Uncle, surely...
Which I give to you, Tom.
Thank you, sir. Oh, my friend. My father.
Now, Thomas, don't press in on my uncle, sir.
Let him come. Perhaps you think I've given you too little, Tom, and the world will think I've given you too much.
You have always been more generous to me than I deserve, sir.
That's enough, Thomas. Don't cling to Uncle.
And now, the rest of you deserve to know what I have planned for you. Mr. Thwackum, Mr. Squire.
Sir.
£1,000 for a distinguished man of God, when that wastrel Jones is to get 500 a year.
And Mr. Allworthy thinks no more of my philosophy than your religion. 1,000. That's a miserable amount on which to survive, while contemplating the perfection of the human soul.
This calls for more beer.
For once, I agree.
When Mr. Allworthy finally falls asleep, Tom is the last to leave.
Please do not die. My dearest benefactor.
Even when he leaves, the loss is more than he can bear to contemplate. But now, a stranger appears on the scene.
Tell Mr. Blifil, Lawyer Dowling is here to see him.
Yes, sir.
Lawyer Dowling. As your narrator, it is my duty to tell you that you should remember this name, as he will occur in our story again.
I am sorry to be the bearer of sad tidings, Mr. Blifil, particularly at such a difficult time.
At Salisbury, you say?
A gout in her head and stomach carried her off in a few hours. I had barely time to reach her.
Poor mother, she would insist on travelling so much. I fear the shock of her death will quicken my dear uncle's demise. Still, he must be told at once.
There is something else I should mention. Oh? The reason your mother urged me to see her was because she had a letter which she wished to be given to your uncle.
A letter?
Yes. For his eyes only.
Let me take it.
You're sure you don't want me to hand it to him?
Perfectly. Poor uncle. I can only pray he will survive the shock of this news, but I must not be weak. No delay. Goodbye, Mr.
Dowling. Goodbye, Mr. Blifil.
Dowling. Lawyer Dowling. Got that one?
God bless the doctor. You deserve a statue erected to you at public expense.
Against all Mr. Blifil's expectation of hastening his uncle's death, fate decides otherwise. Mr. Allworthy starts to recover.
Damn you, Doctor. I love you better than my own soul.
I do not wish to be uncharitable, but some members of the household experience a certain disappointment at the news. Tom, however, is delighted and gets drunk in celebration.
Let joy be unconfined, damn it! Lara, Lara, lily, Lara, lily, Lara, bulana,
Is this
Lara,
row?
Oh, I'm sorry, Blifil. No offence meant.
It has pleased heaven to give us some prospect of my uncle's recovery, but it would be better to express your happiness in thanksgiving than in drunkenness and riots, particularly as this is still a house of mourning on the account of my dear mother.
I'm sorry, I had heard. But my joy for Mr. Allworthy's recovery has driven every other thought out of my mind. Here, my hand.
I suppose I shouldn't be surprised at your insensibility, but then I have the misfortune to know who my parents are, and consequently must be affected by their loss.
What are you saying?
You know what I'm saying, beggarly bastard.
Damn you, Blifil.
Let me go! Let me go!
Apologise!
You are talking to a recent orphan!
Yes, that's true. I'm sorry, Blifil. Please accept my apology. I've drunk too much. I must go and clear my head.
Yeah, I think you should.
Fresh air, that's the thing.
Mr. Allworthy shall hear of this at the right time.
It is a pleasant evening in the latter end of June, and Tom's thoughts, unsurprisingly, turn to...
Sophia, Sophia. Ah, my lovely Sophia. Curse the fortune which sets a distance between us. But though I will never possess you, I vow that you alone have possession of my thoughts, my love, my soul.
And seeing a tree upon which he might carve her name, he pulls out his penknife.
You don't intend to kill me, Squire, I hope?
Molly? Well, I didn't see you. Why do you think I would kill you?
After your cruel usage of me last time I saw you, killing me would perhaps be too great a kindness for me to expect.
But Mr. Squire...
What of him?
But I thought...
What did you think?
A discussion ensues, which, as I do not think myself obliged to relate it, I shall omit. It is sufficient that it lasts a full quarter of an hour, and at its regrettable conclusion they retire into the thickest part of the grove. You could blame it on the drink. You could blame it on any number of things. But the fact is, it happened. And then, because fortune seldom does things by halves...
Mr. Thwackum, do you see what I see? Yes? I do believe I've just seen a fellow and a wench retire together among the bushes. Where? Over there. I doubt not it is for some wicked purpose. And I doubt not something else.
Which is?
The fellow is Tom Jones.
The game's afoot. Get him!
I was right.
What the... What's happening?
And who is that wicked slut with you?
Any wicked slut with me? That's no business of yours.
I tell you plainly, I am resolved to discover who the trollop is.
I am resolved you shan't. Don't come a step nearer.
Let me pass.
Let go of the reverend gentleman. Show some respect.
Take that, you rogue!
If you are offended by violence, please don't try to imagine what now ensues. Tom could easily have overpowered Master Blifil, but Mr. Thwackum is a different matter. The church truly militant. All might have gone ill for our hero, but for...
Oh, my...
Damn you! Are you not ashamed to fall 2 on 1?
The sensitive should be warned that scenes of even greater violence now ensue, at the end of which the Squire and Tom are triumphant, Mr. Thwackum is vanquished, and Mr. Blifil is unconscious.
Damn me, Tom. It looks like you've knocked Blifil out. Not a pretty sight for the eyes of ladies, eh? Eh, Sophie?
Sophia's here.
Yes, and my sister. She's visiting us. Worse luck.
Brother, you are a perfect savage. Is this the way you bring your daughter up? Why, she is pale from watching all this bloodshed.
You exaggerate, Aunt. All the same, somebody should see to Mr. Blifil.
Yes, of course. Blifil? Blifil?
Oh, where am I? And where is the sinful woman?
What is he talking about?
I don't know.
Oh, yes, you do. I believe the cause of all this is not far off. If you beat the bushes, we should find her.
Oh, so you've been fighting for the wench, have you? I might have guessed there'd be a woman in the case with a randy fella like you, Tom.
Brother, please.
Mr. Jones, what have you to say for yourself?
He cannot deny it.
So where is the wench? Prithee, Tom, come on, show me. Come on, puss, puss, puss. Come out now, show yourself. I'll flush her out like we do a fox. Puss, puss, puss. I do believe she's already stole away. So, Tom, was she pretty? Do I know her?
Father, I wish to go home.
I'll take you at once, my dear. Really, brother, I have only been here a few hours, and already I am mired in bucolic barbarity.
Sophia.
There's nothing to say. Take me home, Aunt.
I'm sorry.
It's a little late for apologies. Perhaps you should try them on Mr. Blifil, who has received a bloody nose from you. Come, Sophia. Brother, come.
My sister is a terrible woman, full of town learning and obstinate as a mule. Don't know where she gets it from.
I am sorry for your bloody nose, Blifil.
And I am sorry for you, Thomas. This incident must surely teach you a terrible lesson about the dangers of drunkenness.
And unbridled lust.
For once I fear you are both right.
Miss Weston is a perfect mistress of manners, customs, ceremonies and fashions. She is also well skilled in the doctrine of amour, a knowledge more easily obtained because she has never been diverted by any affairs of her own. Observing Sophia's melancholy over the next few days, she comes to her own conclusions.
Brother.
What now?
Have you not observed something very extraordinary in my niece lately?
No. Is anything the matter?
Brother, I know the world, and I am certain that my niece is most desperately in love.
In love? Without acquainting me? Well, I'll disinherit her. I'll turn her out of doors stark naked without a farthing.
Listen, please. Suppose she should have chosen the very person you would choose for her.
Well, if she marries the man I would have her marry, she may love whom she pleases. I shan't trouble my head about that.
Spoken like a sensible man, and heaven knows how rare it is for your sex to be sensible. So, good politics, sir. What think you of Mr. Blifil?
Blifil?
Did you not see her when he lay breathless on the ground? She was clearly distressed by the sight. Pray, what else could be the occasion of her melancholy that night at supper, the next morning, and indeed ever since?
Damn me! I do believe you're right. I knew Sophie was a good girl and would not fall in love to make me angry. Nothing can lie so handy together as our two estates, and the joining of them is my greatest desire. So, sister, what would you advise me to do? For you women know these matters better than we do.
Well, I am obliged to you for allowing us a capacity in anything. Now, my advice is that you go and propose the match to Mr. Allworthy yourself, now he is recovered. There is no indecorum in the proposal coming from the parents of either side. Just so long as you do not mention that your daughter is in love, that would indeed be against all the rules.
I will propose it, then. But I'll lend him a flick if he refuses me.
The marriage is far too advantageous to be refused.
You never know with Allworthy.
Squire Weston is never a man for delays, so he gallops off, and in no time at all, the deed is done.
Nephew, I have just received from Squire Weston a proposal which I hope will be as gratifying to you as it is to me.
I obey you in everything.
Then I am delighted to tell you that he wishes to marry his daughter Sophia to you. Well, what do you think?
Sir, matrimony is not yet a subject upon which I have thought. But I am so sensible of your friendly and fatherly care that I will in all things submit myself to your pleasure.
My pleasure? Well, this is a cold answer, nephew, when you're offered the hand of a girl as beautiful and spirited as Sophia Weston. I don't understand how you could be impregnable to the force of such charms. Well, unless, of course, you have a prior engagement.
Oh, no, my heart is free. It's just that I believe that mutual respect is the basis of a true marriage between virtuous minds, not simply physical infatuation.
Well, there is something in that. So, you have no objection if I write to Mr. Weston and tell him that you have gladly received his proposal?
Of course. You may even add that I am deeply excited by the prospect.
Mr. Blifil does not add that the prospect that principally excites him is the very full enjoyment not of Miss Weston's person, but her fortune.
Sophia, I have news which will delight your very soul. Confide in me, and I undertake to make you happy to the very extent of your wishes.
I don't know what to say.
Now, no dishonesty. Consider you are only revealing to me what I know already, and rest assured it is a passion of which I highly approve.
Is that really possible?
Indeed. And this very afternoon your father has appointed for you to receive your lover.
This afternoon? Dear aunt, you frighten me out of my senses.
Oh, my dear, you will soon come to your senses again, for he is a charming young man.
Indeed. He has his faults, and sometimes he has upset me. And yet he is so brave, so gentle, so handsome. What signifies his being base-born with qualities like these?
Base-born? What do you mean, Mr. Blifil, base-born?
Mr. Blifil?
Mr. Blifil? Aye, Mr. Blifil. Of whom else have we been talking?
Good heavens, I thought of Mr. Jones. I know of no other who deserves...
You horrify me. Is it Mr. Jones and not Mr. Blifil who is the object of your affection?
Mr. Blifil? You cannot be in earnest.
And is it possible you can think of disgracing your family by allying yourself to a bastard? Can the blood of the Westons submit to such contamination?
Madam, what I have said you have extorted from me. Whatever thoughts I have of that poor unhappy young man, I intended to carry them to my grave.
And I would rather follow you to the grave than I would see you disgrace yourself and your family by such a match. A family so noted for the prudence of its women. My brother shall know immediately.
No, please, aunt. You know the violence of his temper, and whatever my inclinations, I swear I would never do anything which might offend him.
Oh. Very well. But I will keep this secret from my brother on one consideration only.
Which is?
You promise to entertain Mr. Blifil this very afternoon as your lover, and to regard him as the person who is to be your husband.
I will see him, and be as civil to him as possible.
Mr. Blifil soon arrives, and the young couple are left alone. A long silence of nearly quarter of an hour ensues. Mr. Blifil, from his inexperience in the ways of women, and from his conceit, takes this behaviour for a modest assent to his courtship.
Madam, you have made me the happiest of men.
Sir, you have made me... Will you excuse me?
So modest, so bashful, so rich.
How goes the wooing?
Swimmingly, sir, just as we could have wished.
Sophie, my best girl, choose whatever clothes you please, whatever jewels you please. Everything I have is yours. I only want to make you happy.
Do you really mean that, Father?
Haven't I said it?
Then please do not make me the most miserable creature on earth by forcing me to marry a man I detest.
What?
I cannot live with Mr. Blifil. To force me into this marriage would be killing me.
You can't live with Mr. Blifil?
Upon my soul, I can't.
Then die and be damned.
Father, please.
Kill you? Will marriage kill you? If you detest him never so much, you shall have him.
I cannot.
Now listen here. I am resolved upon this match, and unless you consent, I will not give you a groat. Not a single farthing. No, though I saw you expiring with famine in the street, I would not relieve you with a morsel of bread.
Unfortunately, Tom, ignorant of all that was being planned, chooses this moment to pay a visit.
Damnation on all fathers who have daughters, and damnation upon all daughters.
Mr. Weston?
She refuses, Blifil.
She...
Don't stand startled. Squire Allworthy and I have agreed the match.
Blifil? Sophia?
Yes, of course, and why not, I'd like to know.
But where is your daughter?
Upstairs, though she may be in hell for all I care.
Shall I go to her? Perhaps I can change her inclination.
You're welcome to try.
Sophia, speak to me.
Tom, how are you here?
Your father thinks I'll plead my rival's cause. Just now I'd use any means to gain access to you, because only this cruel occasion could ever have conquered the respect and awe you inspire in me to tell you I love you.
What do you expect me to say?
Promise that you will never give yourself to Blifil.
Rest assured that I will never give him what it is in my power to withhold.
Then may I hope?
Alas, hope for what? My father is determined, and you know he would never allow a match between us, however fond he is of you.
Think of the misery which I am to suffer if I am to lose you.
But think also of the ruin which I must bring upon you if I comply with your desire. Please, fly from me forever and avoid your own destruction.
I fear no destruction, except your loss. Sophia, I can never part from you. I can never...
What do I see? Strumpet, hussy?
Oh, brother, some decorum, please.
Bugger decorum, Sophia, to your room.
Father,
Mr. Weston.
As for you, you lying, deceiving, bastardly brat, how dare you love my daughter? I will have satisfaction of you, so doff your clothes.
Oh, brother, this is too much.
Listen, you interfering old witch, if it's too much, why tell me she loves Jones in the first place? Come on, sir, defend yourself.
Sir, I will not.
Kiss my ass, then, you coward.
Sir, nothing you can say will provoke me to lift my hand against the father of Sophia.
You pisspot rogue.
No need to threaten me more, sir. I'm leaving.
Tom!
Goodbye, Sophia.
Goodbye, Tom.
Sister, lock the wench up.
Lock her up? She has done wrong, but surely...
Lock her up, I say, and I'll to Mr. Allworthy, he shall know of this. Saddle my horse!
Tom knows better than to hurry home. His fate is being decided, and it is not in his power to change it.
Well, there you have it, Mr. Allworthy. The rogue would have debauched her upon the spot. But do not be discouraged, Mr. Blifil. She shall marry you in spite of her teeth.
Oh, thank you, sir, but...
And now I must be off home to see if the girl has come to her senses. If not, it's incarceration in her room for her. Good day to you.
This is sad news, nephew.
Indeed. Reason dictates me to quit all thoughts of a woman who places her affections on another, but my passion bids me hope that she may in due course change her inclinations in my favour.
You may have to wait rather a long time.
Perhaps. But more importantly, I fear for her if her affections are indeed drawn towards Thomas. She will not only marry a beggar, but the little fortune her father cannot withhold from her will be squandered on the wench with whom I know he yet converses.
Molly, you mean?
But that is but a trifle, for I know him to be one of the worst men in the world.
Well, strong words. What's he done now?
No, I hardly like
you. Tell me.
On the very day when your life was in danger, he filled the house with riot and debauchery.
He drank and sang and roared, and when I tried to rebuke him, he fell into a violent passion, swore many oaths, and struck me.
But how could he?
I'm afraid there's more. That very evening, as Mr. Thwackum and I were taking the air, we unluckily saw him engaged with a wench in a manner not fit to be mentioned.
On the very same evening?
I fear so, and when Mr. Thwackum advanced to rebuke him, he fell upon the worthy man and beat him outrageously. I, too, was assaulted for attempting to intervene. I have forgiven him, of course, and promised myself never to tell you of this, because I knew it would be fatal to him. But if you disbelieve me, ask Mr. Thwackum.
Oh, I don't know what to say.
Sir?
Come in, Mr. Jones. Pray do not skulk.
I believe Squire Weston
Tom, you have grieved me to the heart. I have forgiven you again and again in compassion for your youth and hope of your amendment. Now I have finally found that you are an abandoned reprobate, and such as it would be criminal to support and encourage.
I acknowledge I have often failed you, but my heart...
It pains me, but I see no choice but to banish you from my sight forever.
Sir,
now, I will
please.
give you enough money to enable you, with industry, to get an honest livelihood. But tomorrow you must leave.
Tomorrow? Will you allow me no time
Tomorrow?
Goodbye, Mr. Jones.
A heroine shut up in her room by her angry parent, a hero banished from the home in which he has spent his entire life with barely a pittance in his hand. I hope you will agree that your storyteller knows how to end an episode.
In part 1 of Tom Jones, dramatised by Stephen Wyatt, Tom was played by Michael Legge, Henry Fielding by Simon Russell Beale, Mr. Allworthy by James Lawrenson, Squire Weston by Trevor Peacock, Blifil by Adrian Scarborough, and Black George by Sam Dale. Sophia was played by Claire Corbett, Miss Weston by Margaret Tyzack, Jenny Jones by Rachel Bavidge, Partridge by Charles Barneycutt, Mrs. Seagrim by Liza Sadovy, and Honour by Jasmine Callan. The director was Claire Grove. Tom Jones by Henry Fielding, dramatised by Stephen Wyatt. Part 2.
A hero banished from the home in which he has spent his entire life. The heroine who loves him shut up in her room by her angry father. You are entitled to believe that this narrative will not stop at this crisis, and I will not disappoint you. So, first our hero, Tom Jones, writes a farewell letter to his Sophia.
Oh, my Sophia, it is hard to leave you. It is harder still to desire you to forget me. Yet the sincerest love obliges me to both. Your father would never consent to our union. I am a foundling, adopted by a generous man who now disowns me. Think I never loved you. Think I am unable to say more. May guardian angels protect you forever. George?
Yes, Master Jones?
Will you help me get this letter to Miss Sophia?
Of course. But how?
If you can contrive to contact her maid, Honour, then I fancy she will take it to her.
I'm sorry, but I thought this letter would have comforted your ladyship, or else I would have seen it at the devil before I touched it.
He has taken leave of me forever. He desires me to forget him. Could he have desired that if he really loved me?
Well, you could always marry Mr. Blifil.
Oh, do not mention his name.
Better than such a poor, beggarly, bastardly fellow who has used you
Hold your tongue, Honour. He used me ill? No. I realise that it is to my interest that he sacrifices both himself and me. It is only my own good which he consults.
Well, I'm glad we've got that clear, because now he is turned out of doors, he's not worth a farthing in the world.
So I am the wretched cause of his destruction.
You could say that, yes.
Then why am I wasting time sobbing? Here, take every farthing I am worth, find him out immediately and give it him.
But, Mum,
Go! Don't lose a moment.
Dear Sophia writes so kindly. And she mentions she has sent some money for me.
Didn't know she'd mention it. Here it is.
God bless her. So, this is it, George.
You're leaving?
That's what my beloved guardian ordered. So I must obey him. If I stay, I'll be tempted to seek out Sophia and try and get her to consent to her own ruin. No, I must leave this very moment.
So, where are you going?
I've really no idea. Let fortune direct. I'll think of something. Goodbye, George.
Goodbye. And good riddance.
But as Tom walks away, he realises that his prospect is all a melancholy void. Every profession and every trade requires length of time and, what is worse, money. At last, the ocean, that hospitable friend to the wretched, opens her capacious arms to receive him, and he resolves to accept her kind invitation. To express myself less figuratively, he decides to go to sea. Meanwhile...
Oh, sister, enough. Hold your tongue.
I will not. Why will you not confide in me for the management of my niece? English women, thank heaven, are no slaves. We are not to be locked up like the Spanish and Italian wives. We have as good a right to liberty as yourselves.
To be sure, it seems I am always in the wrong.
Only when you meddle with matters beyond your knowledge. Oh, happy had it been if she had not been taken from my care. It's living at home with you that's given her romantic notions of love and nonsense.
Enough, sister! Unlock the door if you must. Talk some sense into her. Do what you wish. You know, I always agreed that women are the properest to manage women.
I knew you'd see sense.
Oh.
Now, all I have to do is make Sophia see it too.
Aunt, I am very grateful that you've obtained my liberty for me. But I'm afraid I shall never marry a man I dislike. If I promise my father never to consent to any marriage contrary to his inclinations, I think I may hope he will never force me into that state contrary to my own.
Inclinations? Inclinations? I am astonished at your assurance. A young woman of your age and unmarried to talk of inclinations? Do you imagine, Sophia, that in an intermarriage between kingdoms the inclinations of the princess are ever considered? The same thing applies in great families such as ours. The alliance between the families is the principal matter.
I am sorry, Aunt. I shall never do anything to dishonour my family. But as for Mr. Blifil, whatever may be the consequence, I am resolved against him, and no force shall prevail in his favour.
That's it! I've heard enough from you, you hussy!
Brother, please!
And from you!
Oh!
Splod enough of arguing. You're marrying Blifil without delay. No shilly-shally.
Father!
Back to your room. Am I your father or aren't I? Back, I say. Do you hear me?
Yes, Father, I'm going.
Oh, more than Gothic ignorance.
Dear Mum, I've just heard my master talking to Parson Supple about getting a licence, and I'm sure I heard him say you are to be married tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning? You're sure?
Oh, yes. And I wish we could change situations. I mean, I don't wish for you to be my servant, but because I should find no difficulty in marrying Squire Blifil, who is a sweet, charming...
Honour enough. I have come to a resolution. I am determined to leave my father's house this very night.
Tonight?
And if you have the friendship for me which you have often professed, you will keep me company.
To the world's end, Mum. But where can you go?
There is a lady of quality in London, Lady Bellaston, a relative of mine, who treated me with great kindness when I stayed with my aunt. She often invited me to go and stay with her, and I'm sure she will receive me gladly.
But even if this lady is glad to see you, what'll happen when she hears you've run away from your father?
Oh, she holds the authority of her father in much lower light than I do. So I have no doubt she will both receive me and protect me.
That's all very well, Mum, but
what?
How do you propose to escape?
I intend to escape by walking out the doors when they are open.
But, Mum...
I thank heaven my legs are very able to carry me.
Oh, heavens. Would you think of walking about the country by night and alone?
You have promised to bear me company.
But what if any robbers or villains should meet with us? They could ravish us both.
Then I shall have to take a pistol with me. There are 2 always charged in the hall.
You really are determined, aren't you, Mum?
Whether you come with me or not.
Tonight, you say?
Our hero, meanwhile, is on the road to Bristol, still determined to seek his fortune at sea, or rather to fly away from his fortune on shore. Towards evening, feeling hungry and weary, he enters an inn which promises warmth and comfort, and is filled with soldiers upon the march. An alternative notion begins to form in our hero's head.
Your health, Lieutenant. And yours, sir.
Can I ask you where you're heading?
Why, it's no secret. We are marching against the rebels in Scotland, led by the man they call Bonnie Prince Charlie, the young pretender to us. They plan to sweep down the country towards London, pillaging as they go, but we aim to stop them in their tracks.
Are you looking for volunteers?
Brave young gentlemen like you are always welcome. Are you serious?
Well, it is a glorious cause, and yes, I would like to enlist.
Then you shall. Come and dine with my fellow officers.
I should be honoured.
To later generations, Mr. Jones's willingness to join in the destruction of the vulnerable natives of a colonised country may seem shocking. But, as you will learn, fate ordains that he is never to engage in kilt bashing. Mr. Jones has an ease of manner and good breeding which make him welcome among the officers of the regiment. But as the evening progresses, the mood becomes somewhat darker, and our hero makes the acquaintance of a bitter ensign called Northerton.
Well, Mr. Jones, I'm very glad that you have chosen our regiment to be a volunteer in, for if our chaplain happens at any time to take a drink too much, then you can supply his place. I'm assuming you have been at university. May I crave the favour to know what college?
Sir, so far from having been at university, I have not even had your own advantages, for I was never at school.
Your pardon, sir. I only presumed upon the information of your great learning.
Believe me, sir, it is as possible for a man to know something without having been to school as it is to have been at school and to know nothing.
Well said, young volunteer. Upon my word, Northerton, you had better leave him alone, for he'll be too hard for you.
Will he now?
Gentlemen, the regiment!
Gentlemen, the next toast belongs to our newest volunteer, Master Thomas Jones.
Sophia.
I didn't quite hear you.
Sophia.
Sophia, I fear, is not enough. You must give her surname. Miss?
Miss Sophia Weston.
Oh, I know her.
Sir?
I know Sophie Weston. She's been lain with by half the young fellows in Bath. Perhaps this is the same woman.
Sir, you are mistaken. Miss Weston is a lady of great fashion and fortune.
So it must be her. Tom French of our regiment was seen with her in a tavern in Bridges Street.
Pray, Sarge, choose some other subject for your wit, for I promise you I will have no jesting with this lady's character.
Jesting? Damn me if I was ever more earnest in my life. Now, let's be blunt. Tom French had her in Bath more than once.
Yeah! Sir, I must tell you that you are one of the most impudent rascals upon earth.
God damn you!
Suddenly, the angered ensign smashes a bottle over the head of our hero. Tom, hit across the left temple, falls to the ground. Blood flows plentifully from his wound. He lies as if dead. A silence falls upon the company, and Northerton pales.
Zoons, I did but jest with the fellow. I never heard any harm of Miss Weston in my life.
Have you not? Then you richly deserve to be hanged. Not only for making such jests, but for using such a weapon.
Lieutenant.
You are my prisoner, sir.
Such a handsome young gentleman.
What did the surgeon say?
Oh, he holds out good hope for his recovery.
Mr. Jones? Mr. Jones?
Yes?
How do you feel?
I feel no inconvenience from my wound, thank you. Apart from an extreme soreness on the side of my head.
I very much regret what happened. I have placed Ensign Northerton under a very strict guard, which tomorrow will take him before a justice of the peace.
Tomorrow?
Is there anything then I can do for you?
Lend me a sword if you'd be so kind, for I have none here of my own.
You intend to fight a duel with Northerton?
Tonight? If he is gone tomorrow...
You are a brave lad, but I fear for your strength.
But
I cannot consent to your calling him out. When you are well and rejoin the regiment, I give you my honour you shall have satisfaction. For the present, it's better that you sleep.
Oh, now you have mentioned it to me, I shall not be able to rest. Northerton.
I must find him.
It is now the dead of night, and all the house is asleep. By good fortune or ill, Tom finds a sword left by a soldier. Pale, bandaged, shaky, he goes in search of the ensign and sees a sentinel on guard outside one of the rooms.
Northerton! Come out here! Come and fight!
Stop. Stop, I say. You're dead. Northerton killed you. I'm not afraid of ghosts. You don't scare me, I'll know.
Out of my way. Where's Northerton?
Don't come near me, or I'll fire! Back you ghost!
Out of my way, I say!
Back! I warned you!
The sentinel fires his piece and falls flat on his face in a faint. Luckily, the only thing damaged by his shot is the ceiling. Tom steps over him and into Northerton's room.
Come and fight me, Northerton! Northerton! Don't try and hide! Come out!
Finally, the truth dawns on Tom, even in his heightened state. The room is empty.
The bird has flown. The bird...
They find Tom and the sentinel both unconscious. Tom is put to bed, and the sentinel...
He's under arrest, Mr. Jones. The lieutenant thinks he helped Ensign Northerton escape.
And the lieutenant?
Oh, the company left this morning. But he left instructions for how you may join them when you're well enough. They go next to Gloucester.
Everything I do seems to end in failure.
Oh, now, Mr. Jones. Don't be sorry for yourself. It's time your wounds were dressed again.
I think I could also benefit from the services of a barber.
I know someone who could do both. Little Benjamin.
The barber duly arrives and proves a fellow of great oddity and humour. But there are more surprises to him than that, as you shall soon discover.
You like to take your time, Mr. Benjamin?
Indeed, sir. Festina lente is a proverb I learned long before I ever touched a razor.
I find, friend, you are a scholar.
A poor one. Non omnia possumus omnes, as Virgil says.
We can't all do everything. The sad fact is, too much learning has been my ruin.
Well, you have more learning than generally belongs to your trade, but I can't see how it could have injured you.
Well, firstly, my father was a dancing master, and because I could read before I could dance, he took an aversion to me and left every farthing among his other children, and then...
And then?
Sir, may I crave the favour to know if your name is not Jones?
Indeed it is.
And would you also be acquainted with the good Squire Allworthy?
Yes, but I don't understand.
To be honest, I'm not surprised that you do not know me, since you never saw me but once, and then you were very young.
I am none the wiser.
How could you be? The fact is, I still have acquaintance in your part of the world, although I never venture back. I've heard something of what's been happening, but not all.
Well, if you have the patience to hear it out, I will inform you of the whole.
Patience? I'd hear it all however long the chapter be.
Well, to begin at the beginning, there is a young lady with whom I am in love.
Everything that Tom tells the friendly barber you already know, unless you've forgotten it. And if you have, I have no intention of going through it all again now.
I was forced to leave.
Forgive me, but what is the name of the young lady who appears to be the principal cause of all this mischief?
I will not have you making free with it.
On my honour as a philosopher.
Well, since I am afraid her name has become too public already on this occasion, I will not conceal it from you. Her name is Sophia Weston.
Squire Weston as a daughter grown a woman.
Aye, and such a woman that the world cannot match. So tell me now, why your interest in my history?
It's a strange tale. I must begin by telling you, sir, that you yourself have been the greatest enemy I ever had.
I your enemy?
Oh, please don't be angry. You are perfectly innocent of having intended me any wrong, for you were then an infant. But I shall, I believe, unriddle all of this the moment I mention my name. Did you never hear, sir, of one Partridge?
Partridge, who they said...
Who had the honour of being reputed your father, and the misfortune of being ruined by that honour?
I have always believed myself your son. Oh, dear father.
No, let me stop you there. You are not my son.
And yet you were forced to leave because everybody believed you were. I've heard all the circumstances.
There was no arguing with destiny. But I do believe now that we've had this extraordinary meeting that you were born to make me amends for all I've suffered on that account.
I only wish I had the power to do that, but...
It is in your power, sure enough, for I desire nothing more than leave to attend you on this expedition.
I am touched, Benjamin.
Partridge, please.
But, Mr. Partridge...
Just Partridge.
But, Partridge, to abandon your life here...
Go I will. Whether you will admit me to go in your company or not.
I am honoured. Delighted. But perhaps you think I will be able to support you, when I have but 9 guineas in the world.
Then at the moment I'm rather the richer of the two. All I have is at your service. I insist upon your taking the whole, and I beg only to attend you in the quality of your servant.
This is madness. You'll follow me even to the wars?
Every man must die once, and what signifies the manner how?
You're not afraid, then?
Oh, not at all. I'm so far from being afraid that I value a pistol or a blunderbuss no more than a popgun.
Then I will argue with you no longer.
When do we start?
Well, I am fit enough. I have been well shaved. I see no reason why we should not start today towards Gloucester.
Nil desperandum.
I fear I'm about to be counted very cynical if I explain something that makes Mr. Partridge seem less altruistic. He is firmly convinced that Tom really is Allworthy's son, and he believes the simple truth is that Tom has run away from his father. So, if Partridge could at some point persuade Tom to return to Squire Allworthy and not enlist as a soldier, the barber would be redeemed in the squire's eyes, and possibly receive a handsome reward. There. I knew you'd think me cynical.
Brother! Brother!
What now?
Sophia is not to be found.
Not to be found. Bladders and bloods. Where? Not to be found? Where?
She's not in her room.
Well, then perhaps she's walked out into the garden.
But the servants have looked there.
Oh, blood and fury, I'll find her myself. Sophie! Where are you, you jade?
Well, I'm sorry she's gone, brother, along with that maid of hers, but you have nobody to thank but yourself.
Soon, sister, you are enough to make one mad. Have I indulged her? It was only last night that I threatened her that if she disobeyed me, I'd confine her to her chamber upon bread and water as long as she lived.
Well, a lot of good your threats have done.
All right, I admit she's not to be found. But she can't have gone far, not my dainty Sophia. Saddle my horse. You rogues, do you hear me? Saddle her at once!
But Sophia, as befits a heroine, possesses spirit as well as beauty. No sooner is she free of her father's house than she engages horses for herself and honour and a guide, and they're on their way.
Are you sure this is wise, Mum? If we'd headed straight for London, we'd be far ahead of any pursuers by now, even if your father guesses which way we've gone. Honor, I have explained. There's too much at stake. It's better to travel like this across open country for 20 or 30 miles. Once we can be sure there are no pursuers, then we can take the direct route to London. How strange it would be if we encountered he who is the cause of all this trouble. Honor, do not talk of Mr. Jones in that way. I have no hope of ever seeing him again.
Which, if Sophia and Tom were not our hero and heroine, would be a very reasonable expectation. But while Squire Weston saddles his horse and Sophia and her maid ride across open country, Mr. Jones and Partridge are proceeding on foot towards Gloucester. When all of a sudden, they hear cries for help.
Do you hear that, Partridge? What? There's a woman crying for help.
Can't say I hear anything.
It's coming from those woods over there.
Best not get involved.
We can't just walk by.
It could be a trap.
Nonsense. I have my stick.
Master, come back. Come back!
Don't worry. I'm here. Where are you? What?
Tom beholds a most shocking sight. A woman stripped half naked under the hands of a ruffian who has put his garter around her neck and is endeavouring to draw her up to a tree.
Take that, you villain! Ah! 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 Ah!
Sir, thank you. I believe you to be some good angels come to rescue me. And indeed, you do look more like an angel than a man.
Madam, please, all right. I've only done what any man would.
Perhaps I should explain why Mr. Jones stops in mid-sentence. The redeemed captive is at least in middle age, nor has her face much appearance of beauty. But her clothes being torn from all the upper part of her body, his attention is caught by the sight of her breasts, which are well-formed and extremely white.
Is anything the matter, sir?
No. I ought to take this garter, which the villain was about to use on you, and untie his hands behind his back.
I think you should.
You'll do no more harm, villain. Now that... Well.
Ensign Northerton. Fortune, it seems, has brought us together once more and given me satisfaction for the injury I received.
It is very much like a man of honor, indeed, to take satisfaction by knocking a man down behind his back. I am not capable of giving you satisfaction, as I have no sword. But if you dare behave yourself like a gentleman, let us go where I can furnish myself with one.
Willingly, sir.
Master!
Master!
you all right? Excuse me, Ma. I must reassure my servant.
Ah, there you are. I thought you might be in danger.
There is no longer any danger.
And the lady?
The lady is safe, but I think it's better if you don't see her just now. Go on ahead to Upton and find us rooms there. For the lady as well. But Partridge, don't argue. I don't want you to cause the lady embarrassment.
Embarrassment? How could I do that?
Partridge, just go.
So Partridge departs, and Tom returns to the rescued damsel, only to find that Northerton, whose hands were tied, has taken advantage of the fact that his legs were not, and rushed off. But it cannot be said that either Mr. Jones or the still half-naked lady are that sorry to see him go.
I am concerned at the trouble I have given you, and indeed my nakedness may well make me ashamed to look you in the face.
Please, madam, take my coat to cover your, beauty.
There's no need. I should wish now to go alone, but I feel in need of your protection, at least until the next inn.
Madam, I will happily conduct you there.
Oh, I am again in your debt, sir. My name, by the way, is Mrs. Waters.
Mrs. Waters? I have done no more than my duty in protecting you, but I have no wish to contribute further to your confusion because of your nakedness. I will entirely remove that embarrassment by walking before you all the way. I would not have my eyes offend you, and I would not answer for my power of resisting the attractive charms of so much beauty.
Oh, how could I refuse such gentlemanly consideration?
Thus our hero and redeemed lady walk in the same manner as Orpheus once led Eurydice out of hell, not daring to look back. Now, I'm not saying that the fair Mrs. Waters designedly tempts Tom to look behind him, but it is astonishing how many times she trips and how frequently she needs his assistance to help her over stiles. But in good time, they arrive safely in the town of Upton and make directly for the inn.
Anybody there? I believe my servant has already booked us rooms.
Greetings, good sir. Greetings, madam. I'm sorry, sir. This is an inn of good reputation. We do not permit any guests of a disreputable kind under our roof.
How dare you? Can't you see?
Mrs. Waters, permit me. Here is money. Find some clothes for Mrs. Waters to cover her nakedness, and then bring us some supper.
But I'm
no
sorry,
buts. I warn you.
Very good, sir.
You know, Mr. Jones, I believe more than ever that you're some sort of good angel.
Neither good nor an angel.
Oh, I'm sure you could be very good, given the chance.
Mrs. Waters is finely attired in a dress which hides those twin orbs which have so distracted Mr. Jones, but of which he retains a very clear memory. Our hero and the damsel he has rescued now sit down to eat. In all senses, they are both very hungry.
I feel I owe you some explanation of who I am and how I came to be naked and defenceless.
Well, you do not need to explain unless you wish.
But I do wish.
At this moment, the fair one lets two pointed ogles fly forth from her lovely blue eyes. But happily for our hero, they hit only a vast piece of beef which he is conveying onto his plate. The fair warrior perceives their miscarriage and lets forth a sigh.
I wish I'd met you earlier, Mr. Jones. My susceptible heart has led me into such trouble in the past. You see, Captain Waters was a captain in the same regiment to which the infamous but sadly good-looking Northerton belonged.
You've been married to Captain Waters for a number of years?
In a manner of speaking, yes. The captain and I agreed that when the regiment marched, I should accompany him as far as Worcester, and then return to Bath. But when the regiment moved on, I stayed on in Worcester.
Well, Northerton found you when he escaped from custody. A remarkable coincidence.
I had, I fear, given him several hints that I might stay on there. When he found me, he told me a terrible tale of the danger he was in. I did not then know the young man he had assaulted was you. I was taken in by his story, and it has to be said, Northerton is very handsome. Although not as handsome as some I have met.
Oh?
And again the fair one lets forth a winning smile, which might have taken away the very heart of any man who is not enjoying the first square meal he's had for some time.
I was a weak fool to believe him, but I have a susceptible heart. Northerton proposed to escape abroad, and I promised to accompany him. I had 3 banknotes to the amount of £90, besides cash and a diamond ring of pretty considerable value on my finger. We were heading towards the seaports of Wales, where
On foot?
Sir, I am not of that delicate race of women who needs vehicles to move from place to place. My limbs are full of strength and agility.
Your health, Ma'am.
But now we come to the worst part of my tale. He expressed concern that we should not travel any longer in so public a way, and led me towards that wood. But when we were in the woods, he suddenly slipped the garter from his leg and laid violent hands upon me.
I did not punish him enough for what he did.
You saved me. That's the main thing. It is, I suppose, fortunate that I am not of the weakest order of females. Had I not struggled and shouted, all might have been over with me. Instead, all I lost was the ring off my finger and the clothes torn from my back, exposing me to the eyes of the world.
You had little to be ashamed of, Ma'am.
I perceive you have finished eating.
I have. My stomach is full.
The stomach is an important organ of the body, but not the sole one of importance.
Our hero is now exposed to the full battery of the fair one's looks, ogles and sighs. Then Mrs. Waters discharges a volley of small charms from her whole countenance in a smile which shows her good humour, her pretty dimples, and her white teeth. Alas, this time our fallible hero finds no defence.
You deserve reward for all you have done for me.
An act of virtue is its own reward.
I don't believe that for a moment.
Those of a delicate or prudish sensibility may not care to imagine what happens when Mr. Jones and Mrs. Waters retire to the chamber provided for the fair one. But with our usual tact, we will proceed instead to a new arrival at the inn, bringing with him a further complication to our narrative. The newcomer is an Irish gentleman who arrives post-haste and in some agitation.
Excuse me, madam. Is there a lady in the house?
Why do you want to know, sir?
I have lost my wife, ma'am, and I'm come in pursuit of her. Upon my soul, I've been near catching her already in 2 or 3 places if I had not found her gone just as I came up with her. So, I ask you, is there a lady in the house?
There may be, but this is a respectable house, and we will not countenance scenes of sex and violence here.
Show me where she is.
This way, sir.
The landlady, who has no very high opinion of the character of Mrs. Waters, leads the new arrival to the door of her chamber, where he knocks and knocks, until finding the door locked, he flies at it with such violence that the lock gives way. It bursts open, and he falls headlong into the darkened room.
What do you mean, sir? By breaking into this chamber in this outrageous manner?
Oh, I'm very sorry. I think I may have made a mistake. I must... What? Oh, stays, petticoats, stockings, garters. Damn me, sir, my wife is here. Let me see her.
Stop at once, sir.
What's happening? Oh, help! Maggie, free! They're robbery! I am undone!
Excuse me, ma'am. May I be of assistance?
Mrs. Waters' screams bring from the next room another Irish gentleman, sword in hand, who no sooner enters than he recognises...
Mr. Fitzpatrick. What the devil's the meaning of this?
Mr. McLaughlin, my old friend, I'm rejoiced you are here. This villain has debauched my wife and got into bed with her.
What wife?
This wife.
Do I not know Mrs. Fitzpatrick very well? And don't I see that the lady in this bed is none of her?
Madam, 1,000 pardons.
But as for you, sir, take notice that I do not ask your pardon, for you have assaulted me, for which I am resolved to have your blood in the morning.
If you dare, sir.
Why, you...
Forgive me, Mr. Fitzpatrick. You ought to be ashamed of yourself to disturb people at this time of night. By my conscience, though I have no wife, if you'd have treated her so, I would have cut your throat.
Sir, I must explain.
But here Jones stops. He fears so much for his lady's reputation that he knows neither what to say or do. But the invention of women is much readier than that of men. Mrs. Waters recollects that there is a communication between her chamber and that of Mr. Jones, and acts accordingly.
I don't know what any of you mean. Villains, I'm wife to none of you. What are the three of you doing in my chamber? Help! Murder! Robbery!
Some might think it is possible to cry wolf once too often, but the resourceful Mrs. Waters knows what she is about.
What is the meaning of this uproar? Madam, I have said before...
Yes, I know what you have said. I thought myself in a sober inn and not in a bawdy house. But a set of villains has broken into my room with an intent upon my honour, if not upon my life. Both are equally dear to me.
Gentlemen, what in the devil's name is the reason for all this disturbance in this lady's room?
Well, I admit that I have committed a mistake, for which I beg pardon, for this is not my wife.
And I came here when I heard the lady's cries for help.
My case as well. I ran to the lady's assistance through the communication door when I heard the door broke open. I thought they meant to rob the lady. Nothing but my concern for her safety would have prevailed on me to do it.
3 strange men in my chamber. 3 strange men. Or do you want me to tell the world that this inn is a bawdy house?
Gentlemen, I think it is best if we all retire and leave the lady to her beauty sleep.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Yes.
If I can manage to sleep after this outrage.
Again, my apologies, Ma'am.
Ma'am.
Now, Mr. Fitzpatrick is not perhaps the brightest of men. Being violently disappointed in the woman he had mistaken for his wife, it never once enters his head that his wife might nevertheless be in the house. Which is fortunate for her, as you will later discover. While Mr. Jones, having made a dignified exit along with the others, makes a very speedy return once the outer door is shut. Now, however, there are further new arrivals at the inn, an elegant lady and her maid. Partridge is warming himself by the fire when they appear in the kitchen.
Excuse me, sir.
Oh, of course, your ladyship. But pray, let me...
Please don't let me disturb you. I just need to warm myself a little by the fire. It's very cold outside.
Here's the landlady, ma'am. I am sorry, your ladyship, but all my best rooms are full. Several people of the first quality are now in bed, including several gentlemen. So if they be gentlemen, I'm sure that when they know it is for her ladyship, they will get up again.
Oh, not on my account. I will have no person disturbed for me.
Oh, but your ladyship,
No,
if
you have a room that is commonly decent, it will serve me well enough.
I have several very good rooms, but not good enough for your honour's ladyship. Will your ladyship be pleased to go up now, or wait till the fire be lighted?
Oh, if you please, I will go now. I think I have sufficiently warmed myself, and I have no desire to keep others from the fire in this dreadful weather. Abigail?
Yes, your ladyship?
Let us go. Good night.
Good night. She is a goddess.
A little while later, Miss Abigail, or Miss Honour, as we better know her, returns. Unlike her mistress, she craves company and the fire. Mr. Partridge is by now a little the worse for wear.
May I join you, sir?
Oh, of course.
Unlike some of the others present, you look like a gentleman.
I am a gentleman, if knowing Latin be the sign. Non semper vox casualis est verbo nominativus.
I'll thank you not to talk filth to me, sir.
But...
Now tell me, the landlady claims this house is frequented by persons of great quality. I can't say I see much sign of them.
Oh, they're here, all right. My own master among them.
So who is this master?
The son and heir of the great Squire Allworthy of Somersetshire.
The son and heir, you say?
I do.
You bring me strange news. I know Mr. Allworthy of Somersetshire very well, and I know he has no son alive.
Indeed, madam, it is true. Everybody does not know him to be Squire Allworthy's son, for he was never married to his mother. But his son he certainly is, and will be his heir too, as certainly as his name is Jones.
Is it possible Mr. Jones should now be in the house?
Quare known. It is possible, and it is certain.
So where is he?
He's in bed.
Can he not be roused?
I think he'd be angry to be disturbed so soon.
I don't understand. He would be delighted if he knew the occasion.
That's as maybe. Another time, perhaps he might. But one woman is enough at once for a reasonable man.
What do you mean by one woman, fellow?
None of your fellow. To tell you plainly, ma'am, Mr. Jones is in bed with a wench.
You're lying.
Liar now, is it? Well, if you don't believe me, go look in the chamber which is his and see if he's sleeping there.
Sir, you are a saucy jackanapes.
And you, ma'am, are an interfering gossip who has learnt more than she expected to learn. Unless you wish to make a third in the bed.
Oh! Ah! And to think I mistook you for a gentleman.
Ow. Are you sure this is true?
I asked the serving wench, and she said there was no doubt that there was a handsome young gentleman who came hither in the company of the saucy rascal who is now in the kitchen.
But did they talk of any lady?
Lady, indeed. But they told me in no uncertain terms that the very young gentleman had been all over some nasty old trull or other, and a married woman too, by all accounts. And there's no doubt he's in bed with her at this very moment. I peeped into his chamber, and it's empty.
Oh, Tom, I cannot believe this of you.
And there's more, Ma'am. The serving girl told me that the old drunk stuck in the kitchen had been making free with your name. Of course, she didn't know you were you, which makes it all the more likely.
What did he say?
He told them that your ladyship was dying for the love of the young squire, and he was going to the wars to get rid of you.
Oh!
Personally, I always thought Master Jones a false-hearted wretch, but now, to see such a fine, beautiful lady forsaken for some dilapidated old strumpet, and another man's wife into the bargain...
Oh, no, that's enough.
I'm sorry, Ma'am.
No, I'm easy. I am indeed. I am very easy.
So what shall we do, Mum?
We must leave at once. The sooner we get to London and Lady Bellaston's, the better. Ask the landlady to find us horses.
Yes, Mum.
And Honour, you say his chamber is empty.
Indeed, Mum.
Then take my muff. I think he will recognise that. No, wait. I'll write my name. Here. Now pin the note to the muff and pay the serving maid to leave it in Mr. Jones's empty bed. Or find some way to let him see it.
He'll be mortified when he knows you were here.
Let him be. Now see about those horses.
And so our heroine gallops away towards London, while our hero returns in the morning from a pleasant night to an unpleasant surprise.
What? How? Oh no, Sophia!
Partridge? Partridge!
Sir?
Do you know how this muff came here?
I know no more than your honour. But I saw it upon the arm of one of the women who was here. A goddess among women.
Where is she?
She's gone.
Gone?
Many miles off, I believe, by this time. Along with her serving maid, a disobliging wench who hit me because...
I myself am trying hard not to hit you, Partridge. Do you know who this lady was? My adored, my only Sophia.
That was Miss Sophia Weston?
Yes.
Then I wish I hadn't told her maid you were in bed with someone else.
For years to come in Upton they will talk of this extraordinary time when men and women whose lives are intimately related come and go with a dazzling complexity which they will say is worthy of a novel. for who should now arrive in hot pursuit but...
Where is she? Where's my jade of a daughter? Come on, tell me where the baggage is. I know she's here, somewhere.
Unfortunately, at this moment, our hero enters the kitchen, still carrying Sophia's muff.
Ah! Bloodshed and betrayal! Villain!
Squire Western, I...
Got you! We've got the dog fox, I warrant, but the bitch is not far off.
Sir, I have no idea where the lady, your daughter, is.
So how come you have her muff? Bear witness, all of you. The goods are found upon him. I'll have him before a justice of the peace. Where is my daughter, villain?
Sir, I beg you be pacified. The muff, I acknowledge, is the young lady's, but upon my honour, I have never seen her.
Liar!
Uncle! Patience! Patience, Uncle. Let me question Mr. Jones.
Mr. Fitzpatrick, what are you doing here? And where is my niece?
It's a long story.
Well?
But, perhaps not for now.
I don't believe I've mentioned this connection before, but Harriet, the niece of Squire Weston and protégé of his sister, has married Mr. Fitzpatrick. He has received a very handsome fortune with his wife, and he's now spent every penny of it, except some poor pittance, which is settled upon her, and which he is determined to get his hands on. But enough. Mr. Fitzpatrick realises he might do himself some good by an act of service to his uncle and revenging himself upon our hero.
Upon my conscience, Mr. Jones, you ought to be ashamed of denying your having seen the Squire's daughter when you know I found you there on the bed together.
What?
Sir, you are lying.
Am I, sir? Come with me to the ladies' chamber. There. Oh, come.
What is the meaning of this? Hell! Murder! Robbery! Rape!
Etc., etc.
This is not my daughter.
Not your daughter?
Fitzpatrick, you are a fool. But if she's here, I'll find her. Sophia! You slut! Come out, I know you're there. You can't hide, I'll sniff you out, you jade!
Mr. Jones, do I have you to thank for this intrusion?
Madam, I cannot blame you. But you have lost me everything I cherish most.
Oh, I don't understand.
How could you? Goodbye, Ma.
Mr. Fitzpatrick, this is the second time you have burst into my bedroom.
It is. I must apologise.
It seems you can't keep away from me.
It does indeed.
I'm sorry that you've not found your wife.
Oh, I am not.
Oh. Mr. Fitzpatrick.
Well, he's a handsome fellow, and she has a healthy appetite, so imagine what you will. Or, if you prefer, imagine nothing. The squire, meanwhile, rampages round the inn in search of his daughter.
Come out, you bitch! Come out, you slut! Oh, your pardon, madam. Oh, your pardon, both madams. Sophie! Sophie!
While the squire creates havoc, our hero takes the opportunity to leave the inn with his faithful but chastened servant.
It was my fault.
You should have held your tongue. But the fault was mine. I wish I had never encountered Mrs. Waters.
So, are we off to become soldiers?
No, we are heading for London. I cannot ever aspire to Sophia's hand, but I cannot endure that she should think so badly of me as she does at this time.
No war?
No war.
I was really looking forward to hand-to-hand combat with clan upon clan of rebel Scots.
Meanwhile, as authors with parallel narratives are wont to say, the fair Sophia and the faithful Honour are riding towards London, until they overtake a coach, and as they overtake it, a female head emerges from the carriage window.
Sophia! Sophia! Harriet!
The lady is none other than Mrs. Fitzpatrick, wife of Mr. Fitzpatrick, niece of Squire Weston, cousin of... Well, I don't need to go on. She is in flight from her husband, and having had the good fortune to have heard his raised voice at the Upton Inn, has fled on.
My dear Sophia, you must come with me to London. I know that Lady Bellaston will welcome you.
But what about you? You are in flight from a husband who, from your account, is interested only in your money.
He was so handsome and so romantic when first I met him, but one learns from experience. Unfortunately, not quite quickly enough.
So what will you do in London?
I have a friend there. A noble, disinterested friend.
A woman's support is always valuable.
He's a peer of the realm. Irish, of course.
He is a man?
Most he's are. So what? Are you shocked? Or do you and your maid still want to share my carriage?
I want to be as far away from my father and Mr. Jones as I possibly can.
Meanwhile, that favourite word, Squire Weston, having despaired of finding his daughter at the inn, is in hot pursuit up the road towards London in a temper foul even by his own standards.
Oh, damn the slut! Damn her! Oh, such a fine morning for hunting. Oh, can she? It's damn hard to lose one of the best scenting days there's been this season, especially after so long a frost. The hounds are on. The best day for months. Damn me, she's gone. She's gone. Damn her. Come on. There's hunting afoot. Tally-ho!
So the squire instantly claps spurs upon his horse, which has the same inclination as its master, forgets the pursuit of his daughter and goes to join the hunt. However, we would like to assure you that no foxes have been killed in the course of this production. Meanwhile, oh dear, same word again, Mr. Jones and his servant take a little time off their path to London to visit a local hostelry, where they meet another figure from Tom's past.
Mr. Jones! How do your good family in Somersetshire?
Mr. Dowling?
Yes, Mr. Dowling. Lawyer Dowling. If you've forgotten who he is, you have only yourselves to blame.
Your health, Mr. Jones. And, if you please, that of the good Squire Allworthy and his nephew and heir, Mr. Blifil.
Sir, you have joined two persons very improperly together. For Mr. Allworthy is the glory of the human species, and the other a rascal who dishonours the name of man.
I am sorry to hear that. I never saw Mr. Blifil but once when I carried him the news of the loss of his mother, and, no, never mind. It is a pity, then, that such a person should inherit the squire's great estate.
Sir, where Mr. Allworthy is concerned, I can complain of no injustice.
So even in your straitened circumstances, you feel no resentment at being deprived of a share in his fortune?
I believe I can truly say I never once considered what he could or might give me.
Then you are an unusual man, Mr. Jones.
It is God's truth.
I don't doubt you. So now you are London-bound?
Yes, but with no fortune and little hope of success.
London is a treacherous place.
So I have heard. I've never been there.
Then God help you. But who knows? Perhaps you and I will meet there again.
And on the enigmatic words of Lawyer Dowling, we end our second episode, with our hero and heroine both separately on their way to that cesspit of double-dealing and immorality, which is London.
In Part 2 of Tom Jones, dramatised by Stephen Wyatt, Tom was played by Michael Legge, Henry Fielding by Simon Russell Beale, Squire Weston by Trevor Peacock, Northerton by Sam Dale, and Partridge by Charles Barnicott. Sophia was played by Claire Corbett, Miss Weston by Margaret Tyzack, Jenny Jones by Rachel Bavidge, Harriet by Liza Sadovy, and Honor by Jasmine Callan. The director was Claire Grove. Tom Jones by Henry Fielding. Dramatised by Stephen Wyatt. Part 3.
And so our hero and the faithful partridge arrive in London. Tom has often heard Mr. Allworthy mention a respectable widow at whose house he used to stay when he was in town, and so it is to this Mrs. Miller that they apply for lodging.
I don't wish to impose upon your kindness.
No, no. You're more than welcome, Mr. Jones. Stay here as long as you wish. I owe Mr. Allworthy a great deal. He helped me out most generously when my husband died.
But you do understand that I no longer possess Mr. Allworthy's support and approval. He has turned me out of doors.
In these matters, I trust my own instincts. I believe you're an honest young man, and your falling out with him is only temporary.
I wish I could believe you. I was planning to enlist, but, well, since what happened with Miss Sophia Weston, I feel I had to come to London and find her. You see, she left her muff behind at the inn in Upton. I ought to return it, but I don't know where to start.
Oh, Mrs. Fitzpatrick.
I don't follow.
I was trying to remember her name. She is Miss Weston's cousin Harriet. Perhaps the young lady's staying with her.
Do you know Mrs. Fitzpatrick's address?
Indeed, I do.
And so our hero pays a call upon Mrs. Fitzpatrick, who receives him warmly, but gives little away about the whereabouts of Sophia. However, once he has departed, she hurries off to report it all to her other cousin, Lady Bellaston, the great lady with whom Sophia is staying.
He is a very fine figure of a young man.
So I have heard. My dear Mrs. Fitzpatrick, you have behaved admirably in seeking my advice. I shall be very glad to play my part in the preservation of a virtuous young lady from a temptation which is clearly even more tempting than I had imagined. We must therefore make it our business to keep Sophia from seeing this dangerous young fellow.
He will stop at nothing to get at her.
Yes. I suppose he might get some intelligence about where she is and then lurk about my house. So it would be useful if I knew what he looked like. Is there no way, madam, by which I could have a sight of him?
He has threatened me with another visit this afternoon. So if your ladyship pleased to do me the honour of calling upon me then, say, between 4 and 5.
Perfect. I will be there.
And how is your dear Irish peer? Is he attentive?
He is a model of courtesy.
And I trust discretion. No word then recently of dear Mr. Fitzpatrick?
He does not know where I am. I suspect he no longer cares.
Let us certainly hope so.
It's good of you to see me again, Mrs. Fitzpatrick.
Not at all. I only wish I knew more of dear Sophia's whereabouts. But I am still making inquiries on your behalf.
I'm most grateful. There is also the matter of this muff, which I must return to its rightful owner.
Lady Bellaston.
My dear Mrs. Fitzpatrick, forgive me for arriving unannounced.
I don't believe you've met Mr. Jones?
No, I don't believe I have.
I don't want to take any more of your time, Mrs. Fitzpatrick.
If you leave word with my servants where you are lodged, I will let you know as soon as I discover any further information.
Your servant, ma'am. Your servant, your ladyship.
Well?
Well, he is certainly handsome, but I am satisfied on Sophia's account. She is in no danger from this fellow.
That night, Mr. Jones receives a mysterious bundle.
It was delivered by a porter.
I'm mystified.
He was very specific that it was for you, Mr. Jones.
Who can have sent this?
Festina Lente. Let's discover what's in there first.
A domino?
A mask?
And a masquerade ticket.
There must be some mistake.
It looks to me like some young lady thinks highly of you.
Wait. There's a card in the sleeve of the domino. To Mr. Jones. The Queen of the Fairies sends you this. Use her favours not amiss.
But there's only one lady who knows my address in London, and that's Mrs. Fitzpatrick. Perhaps she has some news of Sophia after all.
Perhaps.
There's nothing to be lost by finding out.
Picture now the scene. Lanterns throw light upon brightly dressed revellers who laugh and drink and flirt, all behind the safety of the mask which licenses their mirth. But Tom has to find the benefactress who has sent him his ticket. It is not long before he finds himself engaged in conversation with a buxom shepherdess, albeit a shepherdess who has probably never seen a sheep in her life.
Do I know you?
I don't think so, sir. But you're more than welcome to get to know me.
If you talk any longer with that trollop, I shall acquaint Miss Weston.
The elegantly dressed mask who has just spoken starts to walk away.
Madam, please! Please! Come back! Who are you?
I had imagined that Mr. Jones had been a more discerning lover than to suffer any disguise to conceal his mistress from him.
So tell me, madam, is she here?
Hush, sir. You will be observed, I promise you. Upon my honour, Miss Weston is not here.
So, tell me, please, how may I find her? My good fairy queen, I know your majesty very well. Indeed, Mrs. Fitzpatrick, it's cruel to divert yourself at the expense of my torments.
Though you have so ingeniously discovered me, I must still speak in the same voice, lest I should be known by others.
Perhaps a less naive young man would have recognised the voice of Lady Bellaston, but recollect Tom has barely heard it.
So, do you think, good sir, that I have no greater regard for my cousin than to assist in carrying on an affair between the two of you, which must end in her ruin as well as your own?
Alas, madam, you know little of my heart if you think I would contribute to her ruin.
I'm glad to hear it. But I would still have you ambitious for yourself. Perhaps you may succeed with those who are infinitely superior in fortune to my cousin. I am convinced there are women, but don't you think me a strange creature, Mr. Jones, to be thus giving advice to a man with whom I am so little acquainted?
Madam,
And are you so little versed in our sex to imagine you can entertain a lady with your passion for another woman? If the fairy queen had conceived no better opinion of your gallantry, she would scarce have appointed you to meet her at a masquerade.
Forgive me, madam. I did not mean to be ungallant.
Then, shall we walk? You cannot conceive anything more insipid and childish than a masquerade to the people of fashion, who in general know one another as well here as when they meet in a drawing-room. We come here to kill time and generally leave more exhausted than from the longest sermon. I confess, it would be almost charity in me to spare you the tedium and go home for your sake.
I know but one charity equal to it, and that is to suffer me to wait on you at home.
Sure, you must have a very strange opinion of me, that upon such an acquaintance I would let you into my doors at this time of night. I fancy you impute the friendship I have shown my cousin to some other motive.
Madam, I didn't mean to suggest...
Confess honestly now. Don't you consider this contrived interview as little better than a downright assignation? Are you used, Mr. Jones, to make these sudden conquests?
As you have taken my heart by surprise, the rest of my body has a right to follow. So you must pardon me if I resolve to attend you wherever you go.
Oh, you mustn't do that. I'm going to visit a friend in my carriage. On no account must you accompany me. You have disobeyed me.
You did not forbid me to enter.
It would have been uncivil of me. But what will the world think of you being here alone with me in a carriage?
Why should the world know?
And now I come to think of it, I had forgotten my friend was away tonight. So, what happens if we arrive at her house and spend time there, alone, together?
Shall I tell you what I think?
What is that?
I think you should unveil your mask, Mrs. Fitzpatrick.
I thought you would never ask.
But you're...
Indeed, Mr. Jones. I am Lady Bellaston. And here we are at my friend's house in Hanover Square. I positively forbid you to follow me inside. Mr. Jones?
It is not our intention to give any account of the ensuing conversation, which lasts from 2 till 6 o'clock in the morning. It is believed that Lady Bellaston promises help in finding Sophia. The rest we respectfully leave once again to your imagination. A second evening meeting at the same place for another day is arranged, and then Lady Bellaston returns to her own house and Mr. Jones to his lodgings.
Good morning, Master.
Good morning. I'm the bringer of good tidings.
A banknote for £50?
Go and get it changed at once.
But
don't ask.
And indeed, if it is not stolen, we can only conclude it comes from Lady Bellaston, who, though she does not give much to such hackneyed charities as building hospitals and schools, is not entirely void of Christian charity where a young fellow of merit without a shilling in the world is concerned.
Indeed, Mr. Jones, the garments fit you exceedingly well.
I am not accustomed to being so grandly dressed.
The man should always look well in his clothes, as indeed he should without his clothes.
My lady, you have promised me on many occasions to help me find my Sophia.
I do not wish to hear that girl's name.
But you know where she is.
Cannot imagine what gave you that idea.
I have offended you.
Clothes make the man, and I, as it were, make the clothes.
The fact is that our hero is in something of a dilemma. Lady Bellaston is a very generous and, for her years, very attractive patroness. But she is not Sophia, and he is not in love with her. Who knows how long his predicament would have continued had it not been for a note from Lady Bellaston.
My dear Mr. Jones, our usual place is no longer convenient,
and I am now resolved to see you this evening at my own house, whatever may be the consequence. Come to me exactly at 7. I dine abroad, but will be at home by that time. If you should accidentally be a few minutes before me,
bid them show you into the drawing room.
So why has Lady Bellaston made such an imprudent change in her plans? Because on the night in question, Lady Bellaston has proposed to Sophia that she might like to attend the new play, and Sophia has happily accepted. So it looks as if Lady Bellaston has Tom to herself for the evening.
This way, Mr. Jones.
Miss Weston.
Mr. Jones.
To think that if only there had not been a riot in the theatre over the merits of the new play, Sophia wouldn't have been at home.
I see you are surprised.
Surprised? I almost doubt whether you are the person you seem.
Oh, Sophia, if you knew how much I have suffered in this long, fruitless pursuit.
Pursuit of whom?
How can you be so cruel as to ask that question?
I think I have every right, after all that has happened.
But I still hold your muff. I have kept it close to my heart. Here it is. I have to ask your pardon.
My pardon? After all that took place?
You are right. If any remembrance of me ever disturbs you, then let the remembrance of what you learned at the inn at Upton blot me forever from your mind.
Is there any good reason why it shouldn't?
Believe me, you cannot hate or despise me more for what happened there than I do myself. But yet do me the justice to think that my heart was never unfaithful to you.
That is easily said.
But it's true. I've accepted all along I can never marry you.
You are right to do so. Although my father knows I will never marry where my heart is not engaged.
So, Mr. Blifil...
I will never marry him. Even though that means I can never marry anyone.
This is so cruel.
I was upset when I knew you were unfaithful to my memory. But what right have I to ask you to remain true when I cannot offer you my hand, however much...
However much?
I have said enough.
I will never forget my love for you, Sophia. even though it will be in silence and at a distance from you in some foreign land. No sigh of my despair shall ever reach and disturb your ears. And when I am dead...
No more, please. This is cruel.
Let me kiss those tears away.
Tom, no. Tom.
What is it?
I don't understand. How you come to be here, in Lady Bellaston's house. And you are so smartly dressed.
Well, it's just that...
Why, Miss Weston, I thought you had been at the play.
The theatre was unruly. I came home early.
I should not have broken in upon you if I had known you had company. Won't you introduce me?
Oh, this is Mr. Jones, madam.
Mr. Jones, how do you do?
I am pleased to make your acquaintance, your ladyship. The fact is...
Yes?
I had this muff to return to Miss Weston, which I found by chance, and I was fortunate enough to meet somebody to masquerade who indicated that this is where Miss Weston lived, and so I've been able to return it to her.
Fortunate indeed.
I am very grateful to Mr. Jones for the trouble he has taken.
Maybe he should be rewarded.
I seek only the honour of being allowed to pay another visit here.
Sir, my doors are never shut to people of fashion.
Thank you, my lady. Goodbye, Miss Weston.
Goodbye, Mr. Jones.
Upon my word, a good pretty young fellow, though I don't remember ever to have seen his face before. I hope I did not embarrass you by entering as I did.
Oh, not at all. Mr. Jones and I have long acknowledged that there can be nothing between us. He came purely because of the muff.
Of course, my dear. But why was he so insistent about returning here?
I fancy your ladyship has as good an idea of why that may be as I do.
Unfortunately, under all the smiles, Lady Bellaston conceals much indignation against Sophia, who stands between her and the full indulgence of her desires. And it is not long before a very favourable opportunity of getting rid of her presents itself, through the agency of a young nobleman called Lord Fellamar.
So, who is she?
To whom are you referring?
This blazing star of beauty you have released upon us all of a sudden.
Why, my lord, that blazing star is the daughter of a country booby squire.
I never saw anyone so genteel, so elegant, so ravishingly beautiful.
My cousin has you, I find.
I wish she had, for I'm in love with her to distraction. Will you do me the honour of proposing marriage to her father?
Are you really then in earnest?
I do not jest in matters of this kind.
Alas, my lord, you have a rival. And a rival, though I blush to name him, neither you nor all the rest of the world will be able to conquer.
You have struck a damp in my heart.
I rather hoped I had struck fire into you. For he is a beggar, a foundling, a fellow in meaner circumstances than one of your lordship's footmen.
A creature of such perfections thinks of bestowing herself unworthily.
Alas, my lord, the bane of all young women is the country. There they learn the most ridiculous, romantic notions of love.
But she cannot throw herself away upon such trash. Have you attempted to reason with her?
My dear lord, surely you know better than to talk of reasoning a young girl, particularly a country girl, out of her inclinations. Time is the only medicine to cure her folly. But it is a medicine which I am certain she will not take. I live in hourly horrors on her account. In short, nothing but violent means will do.
Whatever do you mean?
I mean that if your lordship really has this attachment to my cousin, I think there may be one way, although it is a very disagreeable one, and one I am almost afraid to think of.
I have some apprehension of what your ladyship means.
But, in the meantime, we should not despair. Dine here. Dine here often. Your lordship will see for yourself the state of her inclinations.
My lady, There is something I must say.
Say what you will, my dear. We are alone.
It is about Lord Fellamar.
What about him?
I would be most grateful if you would not encourage his visits.
But why not? He is a man of the highest breeding.
That may be. But yesterday morning he made downright love to me. I beg your ladyship never to leave us alone again. And if he inquires for me, your servants will tell him that I am not here.
My dear child, I do believe you country girls have nothing but sweethearts in your head. You fancy every man who is civil to you is making love to you. And indeed, I wish with all my heart he was, for you would be an arrant madwoman to refuse him.
Then I am that madwoman.
Of course, my dear. Whatever you wish.
Really, she is adorable, but I don't wish to...
My lord, surely you are not frightened by the word rape. I fancy quite a few of my married acquaintance were ravished before the knot was tied.
Well, I...
May I pour you some more wine?
Oh, thank you. She is an angel.
Indeed. And a woman with £80,000 in dowry doesn't stand in need of an advocate to recommend her.
Miss Weston only needs the recommendation of her charms.
She is the most delicious girl, that's certain.
So where is she?
She's in the drawing room below. I hate to think of her being in the arms of someone who does not deserve her.
Then I shall visit her this very moment.
Within a week, I'm convinced I shall call your lordship my cousin in public.
It is 7. Poor Sophia, alone and melancholy, sits reading a tragedy entitled The Fatal Marriage. I refrain from further comment.
Ah. I am afraid, Miss Weston, I break in upon you abruptly.
I own myself surprised at this unexpected visit.
I hope you will pardon the effects of a frenzy which you yourself have occasioned. Love for you has so totally deprived me of reason that I am scarcely accountable for any of my actions.
My lord, I understand neither your words nor your behaviour.
I dote upon you to the highest degree of distraction.
I shall not stay to hear any more of this.
No, but you must. Pardon me, my beloved angel. I cannot lose you. I would sooner part with my soul.
Let go of my hand, my lord. I wish to leave and never see you more.
Then I must make best use of this moment, for I cannot live, nor will I live without you.
Her cries might have fallen unheeded, as Lady Bellaston has taken care to remove all ears. But fortunately for Sophia, in the rooms below, another noise now breaks forth which almost drowns her cries.
Where is she? Damn me, Ireland!
Come.
Show me her chamber, I say! Show me where she is! There you are, you ungrateful bitch!
Father!
Sir, I...
Hold your tongue, you pathetic coxcomb!
Sir, I protest!
Oh, do you now?
You hit me! I'm a peer of the realm!
I'll hit you again if you interfere between me and my daughter.
Your daughter?
Father, you are drunk!
Damn me, Sophie, you look almost pleased to see me.
But how did you know I was here?
Your cousin Harriet showed more damned sense than she's ever shown before, though pox are now getting back into the family's affections. Now, girl, come with me.
Oh. Cousin Weston, what is the cause of all this noise?
There you are, your ladyship. Before you stands the most undutiful child in the world. I'll wager she never told you she hankers after a beggarly rascal and won't marry one of the greatest matches in England.
You do her wrong. I am convinced that she will not refuse a match which is so much to her advantage.
This is a wilful mistake by Lady Bellaston. She knows the squire refers to Mr. Blifil, but chooses to leave open the possibility that he might instead be reconciled to Lord Fellamar's proposals.
Do you hear what your cousin says, Sophie? Now, come on. Make your father happy.
If my death will make you happy, sir, you will shortly be so.
That's a damn lie. Be a good girl and give your consent before your cousin.
Indeed, it is very much the fashion nowadays to dispense with time and long courtship.
Who needs courtships before marriage? People may court very well after they've been in bed together.
Well, sir, no hard feelings. Although I am not known to you personally, I am delighted to learn that my proposals are being treated with favour.
So, who the devil are you, sir?
I am Lord Fellamar, and I hope to be the happy man who will become your son-in-law.
You? My son-in-law be damned to you. You are a son of a bitch for all your laced coat.
I am not used to take such language from any man, sir. But since it is you, I will bear no resentment.
Resentment, my arse! I'll teach you to father-in-law me. I'll lick your jack.
No,
Cousin, please!
My daughter shall have an honest country gentleman. I have pitched upon one for her, and she shall have him. I'm sorry for the trouble Sophie has caused, your ladyship, if she comes along with me.
Father!
What?
I will come without force. Your ladyship, I apologise for any...
Come along, Sophie. I'm never letting you out of my sight again till you are married. Farewell, my lady.
And to be honest, Lady Bellaston is not a little pleased with the confinement into which Sophia is going.
Your health, Partridge.
I've been asking round, and I'm afraid there's no doubt you're not the first young fellow Lady Bellaston has debauched.
But I'm still so entangled with her that I don't know how to extricate myself. Besides, without her, we would even be wanting for a scrap of bread. I can't desert her. And yet if I don't, I'm guilty of the blackest treachery to one who deserves infinitely better of me than my lady.
Well, I think I have found a solution which can't fail. Propose marriage to her.
Are you mad?
No, I venture hanging on the success. Propose marriage and she will declare off in a moment. I heard of a young fellow she kept formerly who tried it, and she backed off immediately.
Well, I only hope you're right. Dear Lady Bellaston, permit me to say that, as your honour is as dear to me as my own, so my sole ambition is to have the glory of laying my liberty at your feet. Believe me when I assure you I can never be made completely happy until you generously bestow on me a legal right of calling you mine forever.
That's good.
I am, madam, your ladyship's most obedient, humble servant, Thomas Jones.
Perfect. Up to me. I'll deliver it at once.
Sir, do you really imagine me a fool? Or do you fancy yourself capable of so entirely persuading me out of my senses that I should deliver my whole fortune into your power in order to support your pleasure at my expense? If you come here,
I shall not be at home. Partridge, you are a genius.
One further matter, sir.
What's that?
Miss Weston has left Lady Bellaston's. Her father has taken her away to somewhere in Piccadilly. The Squire's sister has taken charge of things.
I must thank you once again, Aunt, for gaining me my liberty from my chamber.
My brother is a barbarian. I have told him again and again that women in a free country are not to be treated with such arbitrary power. We are as free as the men, and I heartily wish I could not say we deserve that freedom better. All the same, Sophia, I do have a bone to pick with you. While I understand your reluctance to marry Mr. Blifil, I am amazed at your refusal of Lord Fellamar. Have you no sense of ambition? I simply cannot understand where you have got your grovelling nature from. For myself, I will never suffer the world to see that I encouraged you in refusing one of the best matches in all England.
The blame I accept is entirely my own.
That is no consolation. I only hope you will not follow the example of your cousin Harriet.
Who told you where I was?
Hoping to curry favour, no doubt. but your father had scarcely left when that impudent fellow with the odious name Fitzpatrick broke in upon me with a long, unintelligible story about his wife. So I gave him Harriet's letter and told him to make what sense of it he could.
But, Aunt...
She married badly, and she must take the consequences. But you have on offer a magnificent marriage to a family which in title has the advantage of our own.
But in your own case, from your own account, you have had many lovers.
Oh, well, I wouldn't say.
You refused them all. And I am convinced there was at least one coronet among them.
You say true, dear Sophia. I did have the offer of a title.
Why, then, will you not allow me to refuse this one?
Well, mine was not so good on offer as yours. That is not so very good an offer.
But it was not the first, nor the second, nor the third advantageous proposal you had received.
I own it was not.
So perhaps I too will get a second better offer than this. I am a very young woman, and surely I need not despair.
Sophie, what would you have me say? You know I love you and can deny you nothing. I have not always been so easy. I have formerly been thought cruel. By the men, I mean. I was called the cruel Parthenissa. Of course, I was never as handsome as you, and yet I had something of you. I am, I confess, a little altered now.
So you will not support my father in forcing me into marriage?
Sophia, there is something else I should tell you. It's about Mr. Jones. He had the impertinence to make an offer of marriage to Lady Bellaston. She showed me the letter herself.
I cannot believe...
Oh, you shall see it too. I'll make sure of that.
Our hero, meanwhile, decides to return to his only other contact, Sophia's cousin, Mrs. Fitzpatrick. Her attitude has changed somewhat since her aunt and uncle rejected her overtures. Of her current closeness to the Irish peer, we have no definite information.
Mr. Jones, I pity you. I know my cousin better than you, and I must say, any woman who makes no return to such a passion, and such a person as yours, is unworthy of both.
Sure, madam, you can't mean...
There is something, I think, in true tenderness like yours, which is... bewitching. Surely she must be the most contemptible of women who can overlook such merit.
Madam...
Mr. Jones suddenly knows it is time to go.
I fear, madam, I have paid too tiresome a visit. I should take my leave.
If you must, but rest assured I will continue to make inquiries on your behalf, so let me see you again as soon as you can. Tomorrow, if you will. I shall be at home. All day.
Thank you, madam, thank you. I take my humble leave.
The alert listener will probably guess who, primed by the letter from Miss Weston, is in the street outside. In fact, Mr. Fitzpatrick has just located his wife's address when our hero emerges from the house.
Excuse me, sir.
What is it?
Might I ask what you have been doing in that house?
I have been visiting the lady there.
And what business have you with the lady?
Don't you recognize me?
Can't say that I know your name or your face.
We met at the inn at Upton, where you were looking for your wife, and where you intruded upon me and a lady, and, well, it was a foolish quarrel, and if it is not yet made up, let's now make it up over a bottle.
At Upton, of course. Your name is Jones?
Indeed it is.
Upon my soul, you are the very man I wanted to meet. We'll have a bottle presently, but first we must deal with your behaviour towards my wife. So now I'm going to give you a great knock over the pate. Upon my soul, if you don't give me satisfaction for that blow, I will give you another.
Now, Tom knows nothing of fencing, but thanks to Lady Bellaston, he does carry a sword. And faced with an angry Irishman who has insulted him and has his sword out, he sees little choice. Tom presses in so boldly upon Fitzpatrick that he beats down his guard and sheathes half of his sword in the body of the said gentleman.
I have satisfaction enough. I am a dead man.
I hope not, sir. I didn't choose this duel. Sir!
He's killed him. He ran him through. Call for an officer.
Officer! Officer! Officer!
And so our hero is brought before the justice.
You have heard from the surgeon. He believes the wound to be mortal.
I am deeply sorry for what I have done. I hate to shed blood, but I do not believe I am guilty of murder.
That is not for you to decide. Take him to the gatehouse.
Oh, your feet. Oh, this way.
And so Tom is led away to prison, where the faithful Partridge finds him the next morning. He brings with him a letter which compounds Tom's misery.
It's from Sophia. Her aunt has shown her my proposal of marriage to Lady Bellaston. She desires never to hear my name again. There is nothing left to hope for.
Not long after, a carriage brings to town two principal characters in our story who've not made an appearance for some time. Mr. Allworthy and his nephew, Mr. Blifil.
Well, Mr. Allworthy, the hounds have changed at last, and when we imagined we had a fox to deal with, God rat it, it turns out to be a badger.
Pray, good neighbour, drop your metaphors and speak a little plainer.
Why then, to tell you straight, we have all this time been afraid of a son of a whore of a bastard of somebody's, and now here's a confounded son of a whore of a lord, who may be a bastard too, for what I know or care, but he shall never have a daughter of mine by my consent. She's still all yours, Mr. Blifil. Neighbours should look after one another.
I am most grateful, Mr. Weston.
All the same, nephew, we must consider carefully. When this match was proposed, I embraced it very readily from my regard to you both. But to my eyes, Sophia has always been an obedient daughter. So, if she fled from this match, we have to ask why. To force a woman into a marriage contrary to her consent or approbation is an act of such injustice and oppression that I wish the laws of our country could restrain it.
Am I not her father? Did I not beget her?
Neighbour, please. Now, sadly, it is clear to me that the inclinations of this young lady are most unhappily averse to my nephew. I must therefore decline any further thoughts of the honour you intended him.
Decline? Am I not to govern my own dear child and decide what is best for the ungrateful bitch?
You will not change my mind.
Uncle, if I might speak.
Of course.
I am sure I would never consent to any violence being used upon the lady to bring about her consent. My conscience will not permit me to use violence on anyone, much less on a lady for whom, however cruel she is to me, I shall always preserve the purest and sincerest affection.
Oh, nobly said, nephew.
However, I have read that women are seldom proof against perseverance. Why, then, may I not hope in time to gain her hand? Mr. Weston is kind enough to prefer me to this lord.
He may go to hell for all I care.
But then, I fear that the basest and wickedest of men, Mr. Jones, I mean, still holds her heart.
Our good Mrs. Miller was most eloquent in his praise when we saw her just now. It made me sad to think how we must remain unreconciled.
Then, Uncle, perhaps you have not heard. Mr. Jones has committed a murder and is in prison. Even if the law should spare his life, will not suffice.
What's this? Has he committed a murder? Is there any hope of seeing him hanged?
I had no idea.
Well, then no forcing of Sophie. She'll be attempted just now. After all, if this fellow be hanged and out of the way, then who knows? Come, gentlemen, and dine with me. I have bespoke a shoulder of mutton roasted, and a spare rib of pork, and a fowl and egg sauce. Mr. Blifil?
I shall be honoured, sir.
Mr. Allworthy?
You must excuse me. I'm not hungry. I shall return to my lodgings.
What news, Partridge?
Well, it seems the only witnesses who saw the beginning of your unfortunate encounter with Mr. Fitzpatrick were a crew belonging to a man of war which then lay at Deptford. So I went off to Deptford.
And?
I was told the men I sought after were all gone ashore. So I've been searching for them from tavern to tavern.
No luck?
None.
And Mr. Fitzpatrick? I suppose the poor gentleman is dead?
Not when I inquired this morning. But I will not give you false hopes. The word is that his wound is mortal.
Then it's all hopeless.
A lady asking to see you, sir.
A lady? What name?
You'll have to ask her yourself, sir.
Best if I wait in the outside room.
So Partridge withdraws, and Tom waits anxiously for his guest, who turns out to be...
Mrs. Waters?
I don't wonder at your surprise, Mr. Jones. I believe few gentlemen in here are troubled with any visits from a lady, unless of course it be a wife. Indeed, I little thought when we parted at Upton after that memorable night that our next meeting would be in such a place.
It's very kind of you to visit me under such dismal circumstances.
Oh, I do protest, Mr. Jones. Your face is more miserable than any dungeon in the universe. What can be the matter with you?
I thought you knew the cause, madam.
You pinked a man in a duel, that's all.
I believe I have killed him.
Well, since you take it so much to heart, I will relieve you. The first surgeon was a young, ignorant fellow who feared the worst, but there's a more experienced surgeon attending him now who apprehends not the least danger of life.
If only that were true. How can you know?
Well, I first encountered Mr. Fitzpatrick at Upton, and now, by the most extraordinary accident in the world, I lodge in the same house as he does. I promise you he does you justice and says, whatever the consequence, he was entirely the aggressor, and you were not in the least to blame.
Madam, God bless you. You give me new hope. Believe me, I have spent many dark wakeful hours here, and I have resolved never to sin more, lest I bring something worse upon myself.
Oh, I'm sure once you're at liberty, you'll be as lively as ever. Goodbye for now, Mr. Jones.
Our hero's relief may be imagined, but fate, it seems, has decided to keep matters distinctly tragical.
Partridge, what's the matter? You look terrible.
I'm sorry, sir. So very sorry. I couldn't help hearing. But I'd rather have been 100 miles away than to have heard what I've heard.
Why? I don't understand.
Was that woman who has just gone out the woman who was with you at Upton?
She was, Partridge.
You know fate dictated that I never saw her there. Only now. But did you really, sir, go to bed with that woman?
I'm afraid what passed between us is no secret.
Then God have mercy upon your soul.
What do you mean?
As sure as I stand here alive, you have been abed with your own mother.
It cannot be true.
I'm speaking the truth. That is Jenny Jones, your mother. She left the village about the same time as I did. They claimed I was your father, which I'm not. But there was no doubt she is your mother.
I don't know what to say. Fortune intends to drive me to distraction. But I mustn't blame Fortune. I am myself the cause of all my misery. Partridge, see if you can find my mother and bring her back to talk with me. A few minutes ago the sky seemed to lighten, now it is darker than ever.
Mr. Allworthy sits alone in his lodgings at Mrs. Miller's, filled with a great sense of sorrow.
How are you, sir?
I do not know how long I have been sitting here.
Well, perhaps I bring you good news. I have been making inquiries about the witnesses to this wretched duel. I found the fellows who were prepared to swear blind that Mr. Jones struck the first blow, but learning the case had taken a less desperate turn, for a few pence they confessed they had been suborned to swear this by somebody who saw my Tom as a rival for Miss Sophia's hand. And the witnesses admitted it was a very different story from the one they told the lawyer.
The lawyer?
Your lawyer.
Mr. Dowling?
Yes.
Well, these days he's not so much my lawyer as my nephew's, who seems now to give him work at every opportunity. Mrs. Miller, will you ask my nephew to come and see me?
The day of judgment, it seems, is fast approaching. But who is going to be judged and found wanting is still far from clear.
You wanted to see me, Uncle?
Yes. Lawyer Dowling.
What of him?
You seem very thick with him of late.
He's been doing some work for me, yes.
So, did you ask him to go and see any of the persons who were present at the duel between Tom and the other gentleman? Why do you hesitate, sir?
I have been guilty of an offence, but I hope I can have your pardon.
A pardon for what?
I did send Mr. Dowling to discover the witnesses, to endeavour to soften their evidence. This is the truth, although I cannot deny I tried to conceal it from you.
You have done well, nephew.
Thank you, Uncle.
In fact, I will follow your example and be more forgiving myself. Shall we take a hackney coach and go together and pay a visit to poor, unfortunate Tom? Mrs. Miller has been so eloquent on his good nature, and, well, I own I cannot stop myself feeling concern for his wretched state. You'll come with me to the prison?
Uncle, I'm not sure that I'm ready for such a journey, so I beg you to...
Where is he? I must see him. Alone!
Nephew, leave me, please.
And so Mr. Blifil retires, and an anxious Partridge is shown in.
Mr. Allworthy.
Partridge?
You recognise me, sir? After all these years? It's about Mr. Jones. I need to talk to you.
You are the servant of his I've heard about from Mrs. Miller.
I am. But about Mr. Jones...
Shirley, friend, you are the strangest of all human beings. Partridge, what can have possessed you to pass yourself off to the world as the servant of your own son? Or what can be your motive?
Your Honour, pardon me. There is not much time. It is only recently that I met up again with my son, as you are pleased to call him. But upon my most solemn oath, I am no more the father of Jones and the Pope of Rome.
Why should you so strongly deny a fact which I think would be rather in your interest to own?
I only wish you had mistaken the mother of this young man as well as you have the father.
What are you talking about?
I don't know how to tell you, but Jenny Jones's was, and Thomas, it's too terrible. Jenny...
Where's Mr. Allworthy? I have to see him!
And immediately the door opens and in walks...
Jenny Jones!
Tom's unfortunate mother.
Mr. Allworthy, it's a long time since I've had the honour of seeing you.
But why are you here? Do you have some particular business with me?
Business of the utmost importance, and I must therefore ask the favour of a word with you, alone.
Partridge, leave us, please.
Sir. Madam.
So, say what you have to say, Jenny Jones.
You must recollect when we were all so much younger, a fellow called Summer.
Indeed. He was the son of a clergyman of great learning and virtue for whom I had the highest friendship. When he finished his studies, he came to stay with us, a man of wit and good breeding.
And handsome, too.
I'm sorry, he died untimely of the smallpox. Little did I think he had sins like this to answer for I plainly see you're going to tell me he is the father of your child.
No, he is not, but he is the father of this child.
Well, you contradict yourself.
The father of Tom, but not by me. I am not his mother, for which we at this moment must be heartily thankful.
You confessed it all in front of me.
What I confessed was true to this extent. I was the person who conveyed the infant to your bed at the command of its mother. And afterwards I owned it mine, and thought myself by her considerable generosity nobly rewarded both for my secrecy and my shame.
So, Tom's mother was...
Your sister. Bridget.
It cannot be. It cannot.
You had been away for so long at that time. Her condition only became clear after your departure, and only my mother and I were privy to the secret birth which took place in our house.
Did she leave no proof? Oh, it was wrong of her to carry the secret with her out of the world.
She didn't.
Yeah, but
Rillo is a gentleman who I have reluctantly made to agree to tell the truth. Mr. Blifil tried to pay for his silence, but he realizes the game is up. He is, of course...
Lawyer Dowling.
Remember, I told you he's important.
Now, Mr. Dowling, tell us what you know, and none of your lawyer's tricks.
I have always believed there was an appropriate moment to tell what I know.
When you decided which side your bread was buttered on, you mean?
I was at the bedside of your sister, Mrs. Bridget Allworthy, during her final illness. In fact, I was probably the last person to see her alive. She gave me a letter, the letter I brought your worship from Salisbury.
I know no such letter. What did it say?
I can only guess. As she was dying, she said to me, I scarce know what I have written. Tell my brother, Mr. Jones is his nephew. He is my son, bless him. She never spoke more and died a few minutes afterwards.
But... well, why did you not give me her letter?
You were very ill at the time, and so I gave the letter and message to Mr. Blifil, who promised he would carry both of them to you.
He did what?
Uncle, why are all these people here? What's happening?
Well, I am going to see Mr. Jones, Tom, in prison, as I had intended.
I'm sorry, I can't. I feel a little indisposed.
In that case, before my return, perhaps you can find out the letter which your mother sent me on her deathbed.
Uncle? No, I can't. What letter? My mother never sent me.
Allworthy and the assembled company depart soon after, leaving Mr. Blifil in a situation only to be envied by a man who's just going to be hanged. And so to prison.
Oh, Thomas!
You can't be. My benefactor.
Oh, more Tom, your uncle.
And then Mr. Allworthy tells Tom all that has already been told you. And Tom's delight can be imagined. To know that his supposed mother is not his mother gives him almost as much pleasure as to learn who his true mother was.
The heavens seem at last to have blessed me beyond my worth. I already had word that Mr. Fitzpatrick is fully recovered and has exonerated me, so I am free to leave. But believe me, that is nothing to seeing you again, my uncle.
Child, I have used you cruelly.
You? Never. I feel I have not been punished more than I deserved. Though I don't charge myself with any gross villainy, yet I know I have enough follies and vices to repent and be ashamed of. But as for my half-brother, I feel sorry for him.
Don't carry your forgiving temper too far. He shall not lack for money to survive on, although I am determined never to see his face again.
But...
no buts, Tom.
There is, of course, only one deep regret I have, and again it is the result of my own folly.
I understand. The loss of Sophia.
Tom, my old friend, how are you?
Squire West?
Yeah, I wanted you to know how delighted I am at your release from prison, and the news about you and your uncle. For once, my sister and I are agreed. The past must be forgotten. Forget the hasty words that have been spoken. Call off the chase.
But I cannot believe Sophia feels as you do.
Oh, come. She's a delicious little creature. We are all agreed. You shall have the tousling of her.
And so, after all their adventures and vicissitudes, our hero and our heroine are sitting alone together.
Of course, I am pleased to hear of your changed circumstances. But I leave it to yourself to pass sentence on your own conduct towards me.
Is there then no forgiveness? I have explained the reasons for my letter proposing marriage to Lady Bellaston.
And I accept your explanation. But then there is the matter of the inn at Upton. What happiness can I assure myself with a man capable of such inconstancy?
I admit my faults. Believe me, no repentance was ever so sincere.
Time, and time alone will convince me you are a true penitent. If I am to judge of the future by the past, when I am out of your sight, then I will be out of your mind.
You are never out of my mind. The delicacy of your sex cannot conceive the grossness of ours, nor how little one sort of amour has to do with the heart.
I will never marry a man who is not as incapable as I am of making such a distinction. Time, as I said, will tell.
But how much time?
That is not for you to ask.
At least give me some idea.
A 12-month, perhaps.
You have named an eternity.
It may be sooner. I will not be teased. It's up to you. To your behaviour, I mean.
Oh, my dear angel. You give me hope. Let me kiss you.
Mr. Jones,
To her! That's my little honeys! Has she appointed the day? Shall it be tomorrow or the next day? She'll have the wedding tonight with all her heart, wouldn't you, Sophie?
You appear to know my thoughts better than I do, Father.
And so our hero and heroine are finally married. And, as befits a responsible narrator, I would like to assure you that all the characters named received appropriate rewards or punishments for their part in this narrative. As for the wedding night, I leave you to imagine it for yourselves. And if you don't wish to imagine it, then that really is your problem.
In the final part of Tom Jones, dramatised by Stephen Wyatt, Tom was played by Michael Legge, Henry Fielding by Simon Russell Beale, Mr. Allworthy by James Lawrenson, Squire Weston by Trevor Peacock, Blifil by Adrian Scarborough, Partridge by Charles Barnicott, and Dowling by Sam Dale. Sophia was played by Claire Corbett, Miss Weston by Margaret Tyzack, Jenny Jones by Rachel Babbage, Lady Bellaston by Christine Kavanagh, and Harriet by Liza Sadovey. The director was Claire Grove.